All right, we live.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to the GOAT James Kingdom Show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. As y'all know, we go live every Sunday, noon Eastern time to talk basketball and the GOAT conversation. So here we are with another great episode. Shout out to everybody that's already in the comments. We actually just got off of a podcast called, give me a second here. We just got off another podcast, excuse me, y'all. And it was called Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best. Shout out to Michael Jordan Fans Are the Best and the host, Dart. And we have people already in the comments. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's already in the comments watching the show. We appreciate you guys. Also, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let everybody know that we are live because this is the GOAT James Kingdom platform. And like you guys know, we do it like none other. Today's topic will be, why is Michael Jordan the most efficient player in NBA history? We're going to allow Michael Jordan fans to explain the PER stat, which is an advanced stat Michael Jordan is number one at for the playoffs and regular season. So we're going to allow them to explain to us how that makes Jordan the most efficient player of all time and how that represents a player's efficiency in general. So we have our normal panel as usual. We got my boy King John, Travis, Craig, and of course you got A. Johnny and B. Lee. What up, fellas?
Yo.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? So, this show we're just gonna give it up to Travis because he is the advanced stat guy, and we're just gonna allow him to say why Michael Jordan is the most efficient player of all time. I can't wait to hear why.
Yeah, because I don't know anything about PER, so don't ask me nothing.
Well, Travis do so Travis is just gonna educate everybody on it. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want me to?
Hey, look, Travis is as red as my shirt. We don't put Travis on the spot. That boy black. The link will be up shortly. NNB Sport will kick off the topic, and then we'll allow guests to come in after we get the topic kicked off. So, all right. So, help us understand PER, Travis, because Brandon and I seem to have it misconstrued. They say that we don't understand what PER means. So we need some help. Can you help us understand what PER means?
Sure. I mean, I think it's the second most overrated stat. As far as advanced stats go, next to VORP, but basically it adds up all of your stats and then minuses the negative ones. So what is it, like points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, and then minus the turnover, minus your shooting, or if you had field goal misses, things like that, and just basically attempts to say this is what your production looks like on a given night. Mike's actually number 2 as far as the playoffs go for PER. He's number 1 regular season, but Jokic is number 1 now, and you can see why. I mean, I think it's a good indicator of just sheer in-game dominance. But as far as like saying, oh, this is like elevates him super above like somebody else, I don't really buy into that. There's other better metrics. But I mean, I think it's good as far as, measuring your just total volume as a player. That's why you have some of the greats up there. Top 5 is Robinson, Magic, Braun, Mike, and Jokic. I mean, I'd start that 5.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't they say Jokic's about to be number 1 in what, in 40 games?
I think they're like tied. I thought. Jokic
he's 1 right now. I don't know if he's. It says Mike's still number 1 as far as regular season, but that might change this season, honestly.
Yeah, I think both is tied for the regular season at the moment.
Didn't they change how they measured PER? Because wasn't Russell Westbrook number 1 at one point?
No, Jokic is second. He's 27.9. Jordan is 27.9 as well. So they actually are tied.
Yeah.
But Jordan is 27.91. Jokic is 27.88. So when you round it to the tens place, which is what the NBA normally does, it would be tied. It would be tied. But no, it depends though, because again, that's the question. How does it rate a player's efficiency is the question. And what is a player's efficiency? Efficiency, what does that mean?
Well, I know what they count. So they count field goals made, free throws made, 3-pointers made, blocks, steals, assists, and rebounds. So there's 7 that they measure, but they minus the turnovers, the fouls, the missed free throws, and the missed field goals. So they minus those from those. So it's positive stats minus negative stats. So we wanted to know, like, is that something that we should actually use? I know it's the standard for Jordan being one of the greatest or the greatest, but everyone else on the list, I don't know if Anthony Davis is the fourth greatest player of all time, but is that like a appropriate measurement? I know Travis said it's overrated, just like VORP. Um, I think it's different than VORP. I think VORP is related strictly to what they do on their team. So that's why I just say, that's fine because it's not VORP is not related to other players. It's strictly for their team. And when you're looking at the most valuable player, we're going to look at VORP to see how valuable you are to your team, not how valuable you are to every player in the history of the game or in the league, but strictly to that team. So that's fine because it's a team stat. PER is a individual stat for the league. So what do you guys think about those positive stats and negative stats, or should they add different stats to it?
I agree with Travis. It is the most overrated stat, PER. I think you need to understand it because if you get in any debate with someone who want to talk PER, if you don't know it, you can't debate them. So I think you need to understand it, but I still believe it is the most overrated stat there.
Hey, Brandon, can you put the link up for anybody who wants to join the chat,
Okay.
please? So
Yeah,
Greg, go ahead.
I never said Jordan was the GOAT because he was the highest PER. So you ain't.
Yeah. Craig do not use any advanced stats to say why anybody's great. So we understand that. That is never what Craig has stated, and he's
Craig uses 1980. Craig uses 1988.
Yep. That's an individual achievement because you
Right,
can't
he
use
definitely don't use advanced stats. For sure. So I can't go back and forth with Craig about that.
6 seasons. So when we talk championship, he played 6 seasons. When he did it, it's 88.
All right, so check this out, guys. The highest PER seasons of all time is Joker 1 and 2, which is 2024, which is right now. He has the highest PER of all time starting this season. But if we don't count this season, it was 2022 Joker, 1962 Wilt, Joel Embiid this year. Then you have Giannis in 2020 and Giannis in 2022. Then Wilt Chamberlain in 63. Then we have the infamous Jordan 1988 season. Then LeBron's 2009 season, and then Wilt Chamberlain rounds off the top 10 in 1964. Yeah. So those are. So if we do take away the 2 seasons for Joel Embiid and Joker this year, then Jordan is 9th in 91, and then LeBron is 10th with 2013. So that would be for the season.
They didn't win. You noticed that, right? You said 09, Bron didn't win. 88, Jordan didn't win. So
yeah, actually, if we look at all of these, the only person who won that year was nobody. Yeah, nobody actually won any one of these years. Well, 91 Jordan, 91, and then LeBron in 2013.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
LeBron won. Yeah, LeBron was the only one in the top 10. Yeah.
Well, 2023 Joker was right behind LeBron. So that would count. That's the next one. That's number 11 if we don't count the two seasons for Joel Embiid and Joker this year. Go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry.
Okay, so how do you guys feel about those like stats that count?
I mean, if you're going to do it, then I think it's a good measurement of. I mean, what I will give credit for is like when you look at it, like the top names on here, it's generally. It goes toward crediting the better two-way players. Like David Robinson's not a top 5 player in my opinion, but while on the court his impact is undeniable. He was definitely a top 5 two-way player in my opinion of all time. So was LeBron in his heyday. Mike Jokic is very serviceable on defense, but he just does everything else so well. We've never really seen it before, especially in a center. It's unheard of. Magic's up there because obviously he contributed better than anyone else with his vision and his court presence. He wasn't a lockdown defender, but he wasn't a liability. But I don't think it's the end-all be-all stat, but like when it factors in stats, I think that it's right to have steals as one of the primary factors because that literally results in another possession for your team. But it's far more effective than blocks, I think. But as far as that goes, like I said, I don't think it's the end-all be-all measurement. But when you look at it, the top 5 or most of the players who excel in it are good on both ends.
That doesn't make you efficient.
No. I think efficiency. I think it's the wrong name. It does not make you efficient in any way.
Well, from my understanding, the reason it's called an efficient stat because it actually grades what you do to the amount of minutes played as well. So it's basically your production within a certain amount of time. And that's why when you look at the top list,
So
you look
call
at
it production player rating or something.
no, I mean, again, the name doesn't have to necessarily mean efficiency in a sense, but efficiency does mean
PPR.
yeah, no, yeah. I mean, but efficiency does mean in general the most output with the least amount of effort, right? So the least amount of time is how they did it. Instead of putting effort, they put effort equals time, right? So your minutes.
So like LeBron this season.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, no. But if we look at the guys who are top 10, right? So Jordan's number 1, Jokic is number 2, LeBron's 3, AD is 4th, Shaq is 5th, then it's David Robinson, Wilt Chamberlain, Bob Pettit, Kevin Durant, and Giannis. If there's anything that these guys all have in similarity besides LeBron James, is the fact that they were great for a very short period of time. Their peak is very high. So Shaq, I know Shaq has some longevity, but Shaq's peak was very, very high. And then the fact that Wilt Chamberlain and Bob Pettit are up here and they don't even have blocks and steals accounted for shows how skewed this stat is. Because then even after that, in the top 15, James Harden is in this. So are we saying James Harden is the top 15 most efficient player in NBA history?
I don't see it.
PPR, it's a new name. We about to rename it right now.
PPR.
They call it PPR. Yeah.
PPR.
Well, Brandon got into the debate about that because that's what all this started about. So supposedly the guy says that Brandon is talking production, not efficiency. So Brandon, explain how you got into this argument.
All right, so they were talking about how PER makes Michael Jordan the most efficient player of all time, and I brought up the stat. The definition is stats per minute by production or something like that. It said it. So I like the definition is productivity. It's not efficiency. So I asked him to explain why Michael Jordan is more efficient than everybody in NBA history, because they said that he has the best positive stats minus negative stats. So that makes him more efficient than everyone else in the game. So I said, well, that's not a bad thing to say, but let me go look to see what those positive stats are, because he didn't know what the positive stats were. I didn't know what the positive stats were, or the negative stats. So I just went and looked and what the positive and negative stats are. But as we talked about this before, they give different weight to certain things. Like certain things get different weight. So it's not a one-to-one measurement. So if we look at Michael Jordan, his 18 game season, his PER was higher than when he won his title his last year, when he was the scoring leader, all-star MVP, first team all NBA defense, MVP of the league, finals MVP, champ. Like that 18 game Michael Jordan was not a better player than Michael Jordan in 1998, which we all can agree. So that could be a like outliner of certain things, but PER doesn't really mean that you're efficient, because Michael Jordan had one of the greatest seasons of all time in 1998. Like there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like that's one of the greatest seasons you could put up against anybody. If you want to put up a season, put up 98, and I don't even think there's a season with the accolades that someone could really compare other than Michael Jordan. So like I said, like this is Michael Jordan. This is how dominant he was. And just saying that someone who has higher than 25.3 is a better player than Michael Jordan was, there's like not a player other than Michael Jordan, and you could throw in LeBron James who could compete versus that season. So that's not really a thing. So what I did was I said, okay, well, you guys will want to give me material, so let me just go add up, the positive stats and the negative stats from LeBron James and Michael Jordan. So if we do without giving any weight to anything, we just add 1-to-1. LeBron James has a higher number in positive stats minus negative stats than Michael Jordan in the regular season and the postseason. Like I said, this does not make LeBron James better than Michael Jordan, but this is just what the PER states without giving weight to anything. Because as we see that steals is rated higher than a point, a free throw, like a lot of things. A offensive rebound is rated higher than a defensive rebound. When a defensive rebound ends your possession, and assist, which contributes to points, is rated lower than offensive rebound. So things like that is subjective, and a lot of stats are subjective because they add certain weight to things. So we can't really say advanced stats are the end all be all when someone is manipulating the actual results by adding certain weight to certain things. Just like Travis always say, Michael Jordan is the most advanced player because all of his advanced stats put him as number one. But majority of the advanced stats are team related stats. There's very other than PER, is there, sir, another individual stat that you compare to the league other than your like your team, Travis? Is there any other stat that we could say that this stat does not relate to your team in advanced stats?
The other ones that I would say that don't relate to your team specifically would probably be, well, I mean, it kind of does, but it's more so on the players' win shares per 48 because it does relate to how well your team did, but it also directly takes by dividing up the win shares that are given to you based on how many games you win. It directly takes your production on both ends and divides that. That's why it's far more effective than just you can't just add win shares together because that's solely team related. True shooting percentage also, and to some degree. And then we have, I mean, VORP probably, but I mean, that also depends on like the scrub underneath you. Probably,
that's the team, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I would just say win shares per 48, probably. I mean, you could say box plus minus, I would say specifically. I mean, they count a little bit, but I'd say box plus minus is probably the top one as far as just the individual, please, because that relates to how effective you were directly on your minutes played, affecting your team's production.
Is that compared to your teammates, like your team, box plus or minus?
No, they each have your box plus minus, but I mean, it directly relates to your production and your effect while you were on the court. Versus
your teammates, right? Yeah, compared to your teammates, right?
I mean, it compares you to your teammates, but it's not directly to relate to what your teammates did. Those don't affect you.
Okay, so basically, the only one that doesn't specifically relate to your team is PER, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have to give you assists, but I mean, sure.
I guess that, but that's a individual stat too. But just going by everything, it seems like most advanced stats is team related things. That's just what it seems like to me. And PER is, the only one that they try to relate towards the individual. But then again, with PER, they put certain values and certain weight on different things, which makes it completely subjective to me. If we're not going to take one-to-one, for instance, if we use this for Wilt Chamberlain, it'd be double everyone else without the steals and blocks. Magic Johnson will be higher than LeBron and Michael Jordan because of what he did on the court. Like, there's other players who will be higher. That's just one of the things why I know Johnny before when we were doing, our criteria, he didn't want to use advanced stats, and I wanted to use advanced stats because it really shows how you contribute towards your team. But someone who's really not a great player can contribute more than someone like Magic Johnson because he has teammates to actually do their job at times.
I mean, but let's see what advanced stats attribute to your team and attribute to you as an individual. So so PER we say is an individual stat, correct? That's it.
It's 98% your individual stat.
But doesn't it count what you do, right? It counts your steals. It counts
what
your
you do, like you said with the assists, your teammate got to score for that assist to count.
Yeah, but an assist means you help that team score, that teammate score. That's why it's an assist. So assist. Okay, so we say I say PR is an individual stat. True shooting is an individual stat. Effective field goal percentage is an individual stat. Offensive rebounding percentage, defensive rebounding percentage, is that considered, and total rebounding percentage? It's three different stats.
It is. It is. I think the like percentage is compared to your team, I believe. Okay. So, for instance, LeBron James blocks percentage is higher than Jordan, even though both of them average the same amount of blocks, but it's compared to their teammates.
Okay. All right. So all the percentage, because we have offensive rebound, defensive rebound, total rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and turnover percentage and usage percentage. So usage rate is also revolving around your team it's basically a possession ending with either a turnover, foul, or a field goal attempt made. So would it be considered individual for usage rate? No. What is that?
Usage rate is what for usage rate compared to how much usage you have with your teammates?
Yeah, no, I'm saying is it a team related stat or individual related stat? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Calculate between the team how much person had the possession of the ball between all different.
So it's compared to your usage rates compared to your teammates. So it's comparing you to your team.
Yeah,
so same thing with offensive rating, same thing with defensive rating. The win shares is the same thing. It's predicated on your team allowing scores or scoring in general while you're on the floor. So basically, when we're looking at all of this, what about box plus minus?
Box plus minus is, I would say, that's way more individual based because
that's team based. No, it's based on what you do when you're on the floor. Based when you're not on the floor, it's still.
How well your team performs while you're on the floor. Yes.
So the only individual related advanced stat would be PER, true shooting, effective field goal percentage shooting. That's really it. Everything else is predicated on your team.
I mean,
yeah.
So there's 20 different stats when we're talking about advanced stats. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to enter the show, the link is up. Just look in the comments. We have the link in the comments. Shout out to Zero, a GOAT James Kingdom member. Thank you for being a part of our group and supporting us for all those times. Make sure you reach out to us because we actually have some merch for you, Zero. Same thing for you, John. We have some merch for you as well, brother. Thanks for supporting us and GOAT James Kingdom. Shout out to Dawn Marie. She's also another GOAT James Kingdom member. She said we had barbecue chicken at 10 o'clock this morning, Brandon.
Kind of early for that, right?
It was very early for it, but we had to eat. We had to eat.
So please, yes, if you want to join the show, we are more than welcome. You're more than welcome to come up. Brandon, I'll have you up, no problem. We're talking PER and efficiency and how it relates to PER and what PER represents for the players. We have Willie in the comments. Willie says Jordan gets more steals and offensive rebound that equals effort.
He didn't say nothing about Jordan. He said steals or offensive rebounds is effort. You had to throw that Michael Jordan in there.
No, I'm just saying that we just had somebody brought up offensive rebounds to us at 10 o'clock this morning. That's why he was barbecue chicken.
Yes.
Let me just say, if Jokic stays in these rankings through like the next 5 years of his career, top 5 player.
Because of advanced stats.
Primarily, if he adds a couple, if he adds another MVP, which he might do this year, maybe another ring. And he's obviously this dominant. It's ridiculous. Like,
Jokic
just what he had to do just to pass.
Played 600 games, though. I mean, how are you gonna get somebody who played 600 games?
I mean, I said if he plays like another 5-6 years and he maintains this level, it's kind of like
after five seasons. So that would be like
I'm sorry,
over 10 years.
Okay, I apologize. I didn't hear 5 years. I didn't hear the 5 years. Okay, so I hear that.
It's pretty wild what he's doing. I mean, just
the most athletic person in the league is putting up the most.
All right, now Brandon, bring up the graph again about the PR house calculator.
I don't want to hear nobody say about the players are more playing it if they can't even beat out Jokic.
All right, you see at the bottom, Brandon, where it says so basically they do field goal times 8.85.9. So which is kind of weird, right? Because you're basically saying every field goal made is times 85. Close to 86. Every steal is 53, almost 54 times 54, right? So they add all that up, right? These are all the additions that they add. We all agree these are all subjective values, right? Because we all agree steals is not more valuable than a 3-pointer and a free throw, correct?
No.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And if a steal ends a possession, shouldn't defensive rebounds be right there with it?
It should be equal.
Okay, all right. So the thing I was going to say was obviously after the positive stats, you have the negative stats, fouls, missed free throws, missed field goal attempts, and turnovers. But they added this extra one, which is basically times the minute divided by 1 or 1 divided by minutes. And also, Craig, this is all off totals. None of this is based off averages.
That's why I don't use it.
So my question to you is, Brandon, your graph showed the plus and minus for negative stats, but you didn't include the minutes. How do we include the minutes into your formula?
All you got to do is just divide it by whatever the minute is. how many minutes per game they play. Michael Jordan and LeBron play the same amount of minutes, so
Yeah, it's yeah.
it would be the same score basically, but still, you know, I don't think this is a great way to see who's like the most efficient player. I believe it shows a value of what they actually did on the court, but yeah, like always, I always said PER is not a great stat to use. Travis said the same thing, and Craig just don't even acknowledge it. So these values just don't resonate with me. I don't believe it shows their like true values, and like this, I only use Jordan Bulls years. I didn't use the Washington years because that's
Also, this
if
is
just brought
Jordan.
his numbers down.
Oh, this
There's
is Jordan
Jordan
at his
Bulls years
peak.
only. Yeah,
Wow.
Bulls years only.
Hey, Willie said offensive rebounds is higher than defensive rebounds. Please, Willie, hit the link and explain to us how an offensive rebound is more valuable than a defensive rebound. We just want to hear the notion that you have, just the opinion of it, because it's not going to be a fact. We just know it's your opinion. So I don't know how an offensive rebound is more valuable than a defensive rebound.
Yeah, I can't understand that either.
I mean, directly keeps your possession going. I mean, so it's
Yeah, but the
You know
defensive
But one ends a
rebound
possession.
take
But
away
one ends a
possession.
possession. Exactly. One ends a possession. So
someone ends a possession, but there's that's after they get a shot off and things like that. That's why I think it's important, but it's less, like you said, it's less weighted than like steals, which still don't even get really their own possession.
Yeah,
I think that's why they have it rated higher.
He put second chance points. Well, second chance points, it is not automatic. You're going to get another point, a shot because you got another rebound. So you're talking second chance points, which is another stat. Although it relates to your offensive rebounding, you need to offensive rebound to be able to get a second chance point, but you also need the ball to get a chance to score a point. So you need the defensive rebound.
Yeah. I think one of the main things is that this stat was made probably to not show how great Wilt Chamberlain was, because you're adding a low value for defensive rebounds, which that if they added appropriate amount for in and a possession, his PER will be off the charts. Blocks and steals are not really in there, so they had to lower defensive rebounds just to put Wilt in check. And the person who made it for a specific reason, and they added values like this for a specific reason. And Will Chamberlain PER should be off the charts. Like, there should even be a thing. Like, this stat wouldn't even exist if Wilt Chamberlain PER was twice everyone else's. They wouldn't even acknowledge this.
If a field goal made should be a point, then a field goal missed should be half of what you rate the field goal made. If a free throw made is a point, then the miss should be half of what the miss what the point would be.
Well, this is the thing. They gave a free throw made 47 points, and they gave a field goal made 86 points. So it's a little bit more than half for the field goal. But a three-pointer is only 51 points. I don't understand how that's another thing too, because a three-pointer is a field goal made. So do they separate the 3-pointers from the field goal made, or do they count? Are they counting field goal 3 points made twice?
I don't know. They will have to add them both, right?
No, because a 3-pointer is a field goal made. If I go to your stats, like right now, I'm looking at Wilt Chamberlain stats, right?
And they do got separate 3-point field goal attempts.
Michael Jordan stats. Michael Jordan made 12,000 field goal attempts, but within those 12,000 field goal attempts that he's made 581 3-pointers. So is the 581 counted twice? Counted in the 12 and also counted with the 5?
It should be. It looks like they do field goals plus 3-pointers.
All right,
it looks that way.
It looks that way. Okay, so that would mean it would be 85 or 86 plus the 51 or 52. So that means you would score a lot higher if you made a 3-pointer. But again, it's still off because again, you got assists, which also leads to a basket. It should be up there with field goals made, and definitely up there with steals because it's an actual basket made. So I don't know why assists are so low. And then the miss is the thing. A miss free throw is 20, which is more than half, less than half of the free throw made, and the same thing for the 3-pointer. I mean, for the field goal miss, because they don't even put 3-pointers miss. They just put field goal miss, What about missing
That's what
3
it should
points?
be. It should be half of whatever you decide how much it's worth. It should be half if you miss it.
Well,
Yeah,
It should
again,
be.
yeah.
exactly.
Again,
be.
It should be half.
this is a stat created by John Hollinger. John Hollinger used to work as an ESPN writer early in the 2000s when he created this stat, and then eventually he started becoming an NBA exec. I believe he was an exec for the Memphis Grizzlies, and I believe he's an exec today.
Yeah, for Memphis.
Yeah, so he his stat and his formula is accepted by the NBA. But again, it is a subjective stat. Most of the advanced stats are subjective. They're not really truly based on objective numbers, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not a one-to-one thing. They add certain values and certain weight to certain things, so it's kind of hard to see that as a objective basketball stat.
Yeah, even true shooting, because they give weight to certain free throws and points made depending on where you shot it from or whatever. So that's also subjective. So even true shooting would be subjective. The only thing I think would be real is effective shooting, but that's still the same thing. They just they make the 3-pointer 1.5 points and the 2-pointer worth 1 point. So
what you're saying is even advanced stats are biased, huh?
of course,
This is why Craig don't like advanced stats.
but that's why they do like advanced stats, because they can't talk the numbers. The regular numbers should tell us enough. Jordan's 49.7% field goal percentage is enough to know how efficient Jordan was. That's it. Efficiency means how you score. I don't know. I've never heard efficiency as far as all your stats and putting together. It's so funny how we're the stat guys, but people want to use PER because the stat says Jordan is more efficient. Y'all are just contradictory. Not y'all. I'm sorry. I'm talking to the Michael Jordan fans, not the panel.
Okay.
Talking to the guys in the comments. All right.
Well,
Talking to you guys.
Maybe it was made for Michael Jordan. I mean,
it was. That's why they changed the box plus minus, because Jordan wasn't number one in box plus minus anymore. So they had to change that.
I told you y'all undefeated.
You know what happened? From my understanding, is that Daryl Morey went live or went somewhere and told everybody LeBron's the GOAT, and the advanced metrics shows it, from box plus minus to VORP, all that other stuff. And then out of nowhere, Westbrook had
the next season it was changed.
It was changed. That was it. So then
I think he said that when he was going through that stuff in China.
Okay.
No, that was before, I think, the China thing. That was like before he went to China.
James Harden calls Daryl Morey a liar, so I'm gonna stick with James Harden.
That's funny. But I mean, again, I think this is what I think about advanced stats. My thing is that if you're a true fan of the game, you would do your best to understand the advanced stats and how it relates to the players. And once you do that, you can understand why certain players have a higher PER or true shooting percentage or whatever it is, with usage rate or whatever it is. But once you understand it, you know it. So, and you can't call one advanced stat a stat that matters, and then like in TikTok the other day, somebody was telling me it's a fluff stat because LeBron's assist rate is higher or LeBron's block rate is higher. You see what I'm saying? But the turnover rate is fine, which shows Jordan turns over the ball less than LeBron. But they don't want to use that. LeBron actually blocks more shots than Jordan based off those same numbers. So that's why we tell people in GOAT James Kingdom, you got to stand 10 toes down. You have to know the numbers. You have to know how to talk basketball, because we will expose you. Like we do Willie here. Willie here is one of the best. Shout out to Willie. Yeah, man.
I agree with you, man. Like like you said, I think that they were made by people who obviously you can't be completely objective and everything. The only advanced stats I think that I usually use, as far as just lumping them in and comparing players, because you're right, everything factors in, like era. Wilt should be the GOAT if everything was available, because he was just so far ahead of his time and on head and shoulders above everyone he was playing with, basically, statistically. I'd say, but I think that still box plus minus, which is 48, are a relatively objective way of measuring a good impact on, as far as like Brandon said, it does depend a lot on your team performance, but it also is directly how you affect your team's performance, again, relative to other players.
Y'all should be happy. These stats just say that LeBron never been on a super team.
Actually, the lower your number is, the more reason why you've been on the super team,
Yeah,
because
but again, this
you're
is
not
why
going
I
to have
can't have,
big stats.
and that's why I can't have LeBron any lower than I'm Kobe guy. I would pick Kareem first, but when we're doing the GOAT debate, I can't have LeBron any lower than 2 because his advanced things here are still, they warrant that position as well as his accolades and other achievements. But I'm just seeing Jokic here too creeping up, so it's tough.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm looking at the top 25, top 30 guys in PER of all time. And man, if we start naming these guys, I would love to know which one y'all was going to say has longevity. I mean, like I said, we got Jordan. You guys don't think Jordan has longevity. He doesn't have longevity.
Anything over 4 years is longevity.
The average career is longevity.
I'm just saying, people think Jordan don't have longevity, right? So you got Nikolai, you got
Jordan
Joker.
fans.
Yeah, you got Joker, you got LeBron. So LeBron has longevity. Anthony Davis, no longevity. Shaq, is it longevity or not? 17 seasons, 18 seasons, is that longevity?
He arguably had one of the better 10-year runs. I think that's why he's up here, 92 to 03.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's what I said. Again, you have to have a nice peak. Then David Robinson, we consider David Robinson longevity?
I don't think they do.
He drafted. He was
no, I don't think they do.
Okay, Wilt Chamberlain, not longevity. Pettit, not longevity. Kevin Durant, 17th NBA season, 16th NBA season. Longevity?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't even think they consider him as longevity. I think anything under 15 years is not longevity. So as soon as they get to 16, that's longevity.
So all right, let's keep going down. I got Giannis, I got Neil Johnson, I got Charles Barkley, I got Kareem. Kareem has longevity, so only LeBron and Kareem so far. James Harden, Chris Paul, Karl Anthony Towns, Tim Duncan, that's longevity. Tim Duncan played 20 seasons. Then you got Magic Johnson, Karl Malone, 20 seasons or 19 seasons, so that's longevity. Then Stephen Curry, no longevity. Akeem Olajuwon, no longevity. Julius Erving has longevity, but if they don't count his ABA numbers, he's not up here. So counting his ABA numbers puts him up here. But then you have Larry Bird, no longevity. Dwayne Wade, no longevity. Kawhi Leonard, no longevity. Oscar Robertson, no longevity. Yao Ming, no longevity. Jerry West, no longevity. Kobe Bryant is 29th. He has longevity. And Elgin Baylor is 30th. So out of all these players, only 4 or 5 guys are considered longevity.
Longevity would hurt this stat, if anything.
Yeah, unless you were great during your longevity.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Kobe Bryant.
Should hurt this thing.
Agreeing. This is longevity then, because I just said anything over the average NBA career is longevity because you made it past a normal NBA player.
4 years?
No, we're just showing.
Career is 4 years.
Yeah, no, we're just showing how with this PER, what it looks like. It looks like it shows us how great you were at your peak. You see what I'm saying? Or at your absolute best for however long that stretch was for. You see what I'm saying?
David Robinson, the most underrated player of all time.
Yeah. And Anthony Davis as well, because he's top 5.
Hey, AD's up there, man. What numbers that too, man?
AD on them teams, man.
AD don't got longevity, so he could be up there. He could be up there.
Well, this is 10th season, right?
Yeah, this is 10th season.
11th season. I believe it's 11th. And hey, you know what?
30?
Hey, Brandon, to just to jump off topic right quick. You remember the guy Dart from Michael Jordan Fans of the Best said something about what greatness means? Well, the definition for greatness is the quality or state of being great, as in size, pause, skill, achievement, or power. Nothing about what he mentioned as far as outside or nothing at all. And it says here, what does your greatness means? Your greatness. Greatness is the concept of a state of superiority affecting a person or an object in a particular place or area. Greatness can be attributed to an individual who possesses a natural ability to be better than others.
It's deep.
That didn't explain Michael Jordan.
So yeah, I don't know how many of you guys caught the show we were just on, but they were very upset at us. Very, very upset. They said the same thing most people say. We don't hear people who talk like this because we just wouldn't give Michael Jordan the pass of being the greatest. We just wanted them to explain why. They told us they don't have to explain why Michael Jordan is the greatest because you should know. Everyone knows he is. There's no explanation needed. And then as we start talking about
you why Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
Yeah, and then then we start talking about the greats, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell. They became very upset when we start talking about the history of the NBA. So we asked them, so why can we not talk about the greatest players of all time and include those players? And in their mind, the debate is only between LeBron and Michael Jordan, but LeBron James is a bum, and whoever believes LeBron James is the greatest is a clown. We are idiots. We're this and we're that. But they're comparing Michael Jordan to LeBron James for a reason. So why do we have to be idiots if this is who you're comparing Michael Jordan to? Then you get upset when we say Michael Jordan is not the greatest winner of all time. Michael Jordan didn't have the greatest peak of all time. Will Chamberlain averaged 34 and 25 for a decade. That is a greater peak than anybody. But then they say you have to win. So Bill Russell is the one you have to win. Like, he won 11 titles in 13 years. He won 5 MVPs. Like, Bill Russell was great. Like, I just don't understand why we cannot acknowledge other great players when we're talking about the greatest of all time. And just because Michael Jordan is the most popular, they said the majority of the world say Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And I let them know half the world don't even know who Michael Jordan is. There's 8 billion people on this planet. Not everybody know or care about who Michael Jordan is. Yes, majority of basketball fans believe Michael Jordan is the GOAT, but just saying everyone in the world, and we in the minority, we don't know what we're talking about, this and that. And every time we say LeBron James, it's number one is this is LeBron's first ever to do this, only player to do this, where that's longevity, and that don't count. So what does count?
Your
What
No,
does
gym
count
shoes.
in
he
the GOAT
wouldn't let
debate?
us.
Forget about the
Remember, he
gym
was
shoes.
saying no. He remember he asked us, explain to us why LeBron's the GOAT, and when we started doing it, he cut us off. He wouldn't let us tell it.
He was irate, both of them. It was very upset.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they again,
don't forget
that's
that your
nothing
gym
new.
shoes make you the GOAT.
Thank you. But shout out to A Weezy Bang and the Sports Bang Show, and Sports Bang Sports and Entertainment. He deals with them all the time. They don't know how to
Yeah.
talk basketball. They use false narratives, and they think that they're using narratives that exposes us, but in reality, they just expose themselves. We were more than willing to explain why LeBron's better than Michael Jordan, not only just being the GOAT, because we explained why he was the GOAT, but they wanted us to explain why he was better than Jordan. And we were able to do that easily if they let us, but they didn't let us. We
And we
actually,
got
the gentleman is here right now. NMB is here. Sports. Thank you for joining us. He
What's up, guys?
He was on the show with the Michael Jordan fans are the best platform. Y'all make sure to check those guys out. He has a platform himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the GOAT James Kingdom panel, sir.
Yeah, so NNB Sports, you guys can check out my channel name under the same thing, NNB Sports. Probably should be able to find me. Just cover an array of topics involving sports. I tend to focus more on basketball, but we do everything from college football, talking about baseball. We're based in Texas, so we kind of do a lot of sports teams around that area. But essentially, for me, I'm a diehard Mavs fan in terms of where my basketball loyalties lie, as you guys can probably see in the background. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me, and we can take it from here wherever we want.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. This is the GOAT James Kingdom platform. We are a very unique platform, and like we told you guys, we are more than courteous that you guys come up and speak. You're the first Dallas Mavericks fan that we've ever had up here before. So shout out to the Dallas Mavericks fans, and you guys actually lost last night after going on a 30-0 run.
Yeah, that's all right. We're still doing better this year than I thought. So
I agree. I do agree. I didn't think you guys would be this good, but you guys are actually a good team.
Wait,
you guys
time
are
out.
competitive.
Y'all just slipped that on the wrong. You mean the team scored 30 points straight?
See, Craig, this is what happens when you say you use your eye test, but you never watch basketball. Yes, the Dallas Mavericks went on a 30-0 run last night and lost the game still.
And don't forget, they went on a 30-0 run and took the lead and still lost.
Yes, they did. They did.
Oh,
I mean,
so they
again,
blew.
OKC, they played OKC. It's not like they played a crappy team, but still, a 30-0
Yeah,
run
OKC.
is remarkable.
Oh, yeah, because
It's
if it was the Lakers, I'd have been like, huh. No, it's not.
well, we did beat the Lakers earlier this year, so that's really all that matters.
So just so that you know, NMB, we have obviously, you know, Brandon and I are GOAT James guys, and then we have John here. King John is a GOAT James Kingdom member, so he represents the GOAT James Kingdom platform. But the two gentlemen next to you, Travis and Craig, are what we call MJ delegates. They are here to make sure Brandon and I don't go off the ledge talking about Michael Jordan. So they are your representatives. So you are more than, you know, welcome to speak on however you want to talk about.
I just want to be clear.
Huh?
Well,
They want to ring. They go them rings. They go them rings. Quick question. You were asking us about our criteria and our top 50 criteria. What was it that you would like for us to explain a little bit better? Since we didn't get a chance, because Rex didn't really give us a chance to explain it.
Oh, well, I didn't watch the video yet. I'll probably go back and watch your video. I might even do a reaction to it or something. But I didn't really dive into it yet. I didn't have time. I came straight over from Dart's channel.
Okay. All right. Because with us here, criteria is very important. We always tell people your criteria should tell you who are the greatest players of all time. Your criteria could be subjective, right? Because it depends on what you value, but your criteria should be important. But here at GOAT James Kingdom, we try to remove our biases. So the point of what we did at the top 50 greatest players of all time was, like I said, we removed our biases. So as Rex said before, it's hard to judge players in different eras because of certain accolades were available, certain stats were available. It's a lot of different variables, a lot of dynamics that makes it hard to grade people fairly. So we found a way that we believe is the most objective, the most comprehensive way to grade players by their stats and accolades. So that's what we did. So we removed our biases. Prior to us doing the top 50 greatest, both Brandon and I had our own criteria, and we created a grading system to grade players by that. So we have challenged everyone to do the same, because we would love to see a criteria that truly has Jordan as the GOAT, that's outside of popularity. You guys spoke about popularity today, but we're talking about objective, measurable, tangible things that would show that Jordan is the GOAT of all time.
I know you like to frame it that because you made a formula, it's objective, but even the way you make formulas can be subjective, right? If I wanted to, I can make a formula that puts more of an emphasis on the things that Jordan was good at, and I could easily come up with a formula that proves he's the greatest, right? So I kind of push back on the fact that just because you made a formula doesn't mean it's objective at its core, right? You can still weigh things differently. Some people might consider this more important than that. So just because you made a formula, I'm not wholly convinced. I'll watch your video and see what I think. But again, this framing of just because you made a formula and it removed biases, I don't really buy into that, because a formula can still be manipulated however you want to make it.
That is your accusation, but you can't prove that we manipulate anything.
No, every formula can be like that, right? No. We agree on that, right?
No, because again,
you can't make a formula to come to an answer you want.
Pay attention, NMB. Pay attention to what I'm going to tell you. The criteria we created gave no one player or era an advantage over the other, which makes it completely objective.
No, it doesn't. That's just your opinion.
You're
deciding what to weigh and what to pick.
Listen again. The formula that was put together did not give any one player or era an advantage over the other. Everybody was graded the same. It was an equal playing field.
And all the stats were graded the same, and you took into account all the stats, all the accolades, every single thing. Turnovers?
Yes. No, we didn't count turnovers.
Oh, well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can still come to what you want.
All right, let's do this, because we had this conversation before.
Did you count finals losses, or you know what I mean? You can judge anything you want.
Final, again, you're bringing up negative stats. We're talking about the greatest. We're talking about what's great. We're measuring players for their greatest accomplishments, not for what you think is a negative stat.
And greatest is subjective.
Finals losses is subjective, that you think it's bad. That's subjective.
Your formula, I can say the exact same about your formula. I don't understand why you don't understand.
What is it about our formula that's negative?
You picked what you thought was objective. Doesn't make it objective. It's still what you
Again,
picked,
that doesn't answer
weighted.
my question. What is it about specifically that we put in that made it a negative?
I haven't gone into your formula yet. I'm just letting you know the basic argument.
So
you still made a formula.
So you're making an argument without any validity.
I just told you I just came straight over from the other channel. I have not watched it yet, right? Like, I don't. If you want, I can sign off. If you want, I can sign off right now and do a reaction.
Think about what you just said, NB. Think about what you just said. You just said you don't have enough information to formulate an opinion, but you stated an opinion that we were being biased. So until you can actually
still make the formula.
No, again, the formula was made to make sure nobody had an advantage over anyone. So we didn't value. No, we didn't. No, again. If we add turnovers, do you think turnovers would make Michael Jordan the GOAT of basketball?
Would it not affect it?
No.
The formula? It would. Yes, it would. Absolutely would affect it.
No, it wouldn't. Let me tell you why it wouldn't. Because
did you count scoring titles?
Yes. The greatest players of all time are on the top 10 scoring list. I mean, the turnovers list.
Did you count finals win percentage? You know what I mean?
No, wait. Again.
You can adjust and put anything in that you want. I just don't understand why you don't understand.
Wait. Do you understand that everything you're asking us to put in is because you believe Michael Jordan is the greatest at it? So you think Michael Jordan has the best winning percentage of all time in the finals? He doesn't. So it doesn't help Michael. It helps Scottie Pippen. It helps
then
Robert
I'm not being biased. Then I'm not being biased.
That is being biased because you're looking.
No,
at
you just said I brought up something he's not the best at, so I'm not being biased.
No. You want to use it because you think he's the best at it. So that's why you want to. You think because Jordan has least turnovers, but guess what? He doesn't have least turnovers than Klay Thompson, Reggie Miller, Carmelo Anthony. So you're going to Shaquille O'Neal. Players who do not play make will be rewarded over players who play make, which is being biased. We are as basketball.
It goes both ways, bro.
No,
I will watch your video. I will watch your video and do a reaction.
Don't accuse us of anything without actual validity and information.
I haven't accused you of anything other than all formulas are based on what people decide to put in and out and how they want to weigh it.
Okay, so basically we're not gonna agree on this formula. It's fine. So MB Sports. So you believe Michael Jordan is the GOAT of basketball?
In my opinion, yes, he's the GOAT.
Yes. So are you willing to try to expose us on this by stating why Michael Jordan is the GOAT, or is this something that you think you could do?
Yeah, I kind of did this in Dart Stream. I didn't go deeply into it, right?
Okay.
But the argument,
so hold on. So what we do is we give whoever wants to come on and expose us why Michael Jordan is a GOAT. We give them 5 minutes, 1 minute in intervals 5 different times. So we give you that 1 minute of just stating why 5 times, and then I'm allowed to chime in for a minute. And then you go to the next, and at the end, you and Johnny go. Well, actually, Johnny is the one who actually ends this the debate of if you win or not. So, are you willing to do that?
Yeah, that's fine. We can do it.
Okay, so you want to do the clock, Johnny?
Yes.
Okay. So whenever you start, you can get your first minute, and we could go.
Just start whenever I'm ready. All right. This all boils down to LeBron. I've done this before. The LeBron and the Michael Jordan argument is of 2 different sides, right? There is the side that appreciates accumulation of stats over a long period of time that makes someone have more of a raw number, right? There's the other side of the coin that says peak matters. What did you do at your best? How good was your good? Michael Jordan's peak, the way he dominated the game, is unlike anything LeBron has ever done so far, right? And it's really not even close if you're just arguing peak versus peak. LeBron's peak is nowhere near Jordan's. That is essentially where the differentiation lies, right? I believe most fans, objectively, whether you're in a city that's never won a ring, you're just a fan of the game, a coach, a manager, what would you rather have? Someone who is maybe 3rd to 5th best at any kind of category throughout his lifetime, but never reached the peaks? Or would you have a slightly shorter career, but you got up to the peak in terms of a peak that no one's ever seen, right? For example, I'll just finish on this if I go over my time, sorry. But Dirk Nowitzki, right? My favorite player. My biases lie with Dirk, right? I would trade in Dirk's being 7th or 8th in the all-time scoring list. I would trade the last 4 or 5 years of his career for another ring and another MVP. Does that mean he'll fall out of the top 10 in scoring and other categories? Yes. I want the peak. I want the dominance. I want the rings. I want to be able to tell everyone that we were the best X amount of times compared to anyone else. That's where the rubber hits the road. Jordan's peak beats LeBron's longevity.
Okay, that's a minute. Okay, so that's good, but we're gonna have to go to the second round because we want to know why Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. We understand that you believe LeBron James is the greatest player. That's why you want to talk about what Jordan did better than LeBron. But this second round, I want to hear you say why Michael Jordan is greater than everybody of all time. All right, so let's go to the second round.
So you have no rebuttal to the peak versus longevity argument?
Michael Jordan don't have the highest peak. Wilt Chamberlain did.
We're not talking about other players. You guys did this last time.
We're talking about the greatest of all time.
It's LeBron and MJ.
We asked you. Oh wait. We asked you to prove why Jordan is the greatest player of all time, not why he's better than LeBron.
Okay, well then we can use whatever player you want to bring up. Jordan is closer to that player than LeBron.
No, again, prove why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. You have
and his statistical weight is unlike anyone else.
Go ahead. Your second minute starts now. Go.
Okay. Again, if we want to go into it, right? This comes back to the cumulative weight argument, right? Is Jordan the best at any one particular category? For a few, yes. For some, no. It is an accumulative weight of someone's career, correct? When you look at the fact that Jordan has the second most rings in terms of being the best player on a team, the scoring titles, he was a top 10 rebounding point guard. He's one of the best. He is the best shot blocking shooting guard of all time. Defensive player of the year, the 9-time all defensive teams. Again, his accumulative weight of what he has achieved, also in an expansion area where, again, when Bill won his rings, there, I know Rex doesn't like this, but when Bill won his rings, there was 8 to 10 teams. You had to win 2 rounds of playoffs to win a championship, right? The things that Jordan has done in his era, his accumulative weight, he doesn't have to be the best at one thing, but he is second or third in essentially everything, right? And even if we break it down by position, he's even more. His accumulative weight of the things he has achieved is greater than essentially any player. That would be the ultimate argument why he's the GOAT.
Time.
Okay, so you said Michael Jordan is the second or third greatest player. On what?
So like
Second.
if you take like steals per game, points per game, again the MVPs, all defensive teams, right? He's essentially first and second in a lot of these categories, or third.
No, he's not.
All first team, all defensive teams.
Oh, okay, he's first in that. Points
per
first.
game?
What else?
Points per
What
game.
else?
Mm-hmm.
MVPs, he's what, second or third?
Mm-hmm.
Rings as the best player, he's second.
No.
Rings as the best player on his team.
Oh, he'd be tied with Kareem.
Yeah.
Second, I guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that.
So I mean, again, we can keep going down the list. Also, I know this doesn't count, right? I don't want to give Jordan credit for things he didn't do, but I like to reiterate the peak versus longevity argument. If Jordan simply would have played out his career, again, I know he didn't play, I know, but this is just to reiterate my peak versus longevity. He would have been first in steals all time. He would have been 11th or 12th in assists all time. He would have been first in points all time. He would still be ahead of LeBron by about 4,000 points right now if he simply just played out his career, right? His dominance, right, is still, in his accumulative weight of everything he's done, is better than anyone else. That's the argument.
Well, that didn't happen, so he's not. So your thing is Michael Jordan's the greatest because of his points and his steals per game.
Did you not just hear what I said?
You're...
Like you're either
Yes.
being dishonest or you didn't hear me.
And
any sort of category we want to go to, right? Either by position or all time, he is essentially top 5 in that. His accumulative weight is greater than anyone else.
He's not top 5 in rebounds. He's not top 5 in blocks.
Did you hear what I said? Essentially every category, not every single one.
Not every
right?
time.
And again, for his position, he's top 6. He's top 3 rebounding and shot blocking shooting guard of all time.
Okay, so
again,
would you say that he's top 2 or 3 in the top 5 major statistical categories in the playoffs and regular season?
By what, per game? I know you guys like to use totals, but again, per game is more important than
you want, but
steals per game.
Is he?
Steals per game?
Is he?
Top 5 in steals per game, I'm pretty sure. Points per game, he's number 1. Playoffs, he's number 1 in points per game. Only player to ever lead in all 5 categories in a playoff series. Only player to win a ring with only one other guy averaging double-digit points.
What you just said? Jordan was what? Now again about playoffs?
I believe, 5 categories? I could be wrong. I believe he's the only guy to lead his team in all major categories for a playoff series.
False.
No, that's LeBron James. Okay,
yeah,
so
but Jordan didn't do that.
Yeah,
Jordan didn't do that though.
No, LeBron's the only first and only. So let's go ahead and go to round 3. So let's go ahead and start.
That was round 3 actually. He went to round 3. That was round. He's on round 4 now.
He's on round 4. Okay, go. 2 more rounds.
You haven't debunked anything I said. I don't know what else you want me to say.
We're giving you 5 minutes. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead. You haven't disproved anything I've said.
No, it's coming. I remember. I'm showing up last.
We've gone through 4 rounds though, and you haven't really said.
Okay,
anything.
no problem. Continue.
I mean, yeah, we wanted to just give you your time to talk, even though a lot of stuff
you just gave me 5 straight minutes to get it all out.
I mean, a lot of stuff you said was not true. In the first place, he's not first or second in the major statistical categories. I'm not sure what categories you're talking about.
I guess I'll say it one more time, right? Points per game, what is he? What is he?
He's number 1 in points per game.
Okay, steals per game, what is he?
4th.
Okay, top 5. In terms of a shooting guard, he is the best blocking shooting guard of all time, right? I'm sorry he doesn't play center. I'm sorry he doesn't play
I mean,
center,
we're
right?
talking about all time.
I'm
We're talking
sorry he
about
doesn't
all
play
time.
center. I'm
All
sorry he
time.
doesn't
You're
play
talking
center,
about
right?
you're
We're
talking
talking about
about
all time. All
shooting
time.
guards.
All
That's
time.
not all time. But go ahead, continue.
Well, it does
So
matter.
that's
It's his
two.
peak. Again,
No,
he
it
doesn't
doesn't.
play center. He's not going to get 20 boards a
You're
game.
excluding players. Continue.
I mean, I've already said it. You guys can just go ahead.
Okay, yeah. You said he's number 2 in most MVPs, number 2 in leading the team to the most championships. I think that's like what the 5 things you said: points in the regular season, postseason, and steals in the regular season, postseason. So that's great. LeBron James has been superior. If you're talking about statistics, he's very superior than everybody who ever played the game of basketball. Simple as that. There's no player who have scored 39,000 points. There's no players who have 30,000 points, 10,000 steals. 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 steals. There's
Again,
not one player.
this is just your
There's
opinion that
not. Yeah.
longevity trumps
No.
his
It's a
peak.
fact. This is a fact. There's
It's a fact he accumulated more
if we're
stats. That
talking
doesn't prove
about
he's better.
if we're
That doesn't
talking
prove he's
about a
better.
peak, if we're talking about a peak, we're going to talk about Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain. We're not going to talk about Jordan. But when we're talking about who's
would
the
be right
greatest,
behind
who
him?
did things that no one has done in the game of basketball, we're going to talk about LeBron James, and we're going to talk about Wilt Chamberlain. We're going to talk about Bill Russell, and LeBron James is going to be number 1 because he has done more things than anybody in the history of basketball that no one has ever done before. And we have the stats and we have the facts to back it up.
Again,
simple as
the
that.
argument is his accumulation does not impress
The
me.
argument is his career. Argument is his career. His career. We're not talking about accumulative longevity. We're
Yes,
talking about
you
NBA
don't
career.
get to decide the definition of what GOAT is, right? That's my argument. And if you want to try and dispel it, that's fine. But again, if you ask the average NBA person, manager, whatever, they want the dominance. They want the winning. They want the peak. That is ultimately what they want.
If
All
so,
right,
they won't Bill Russell.
Let me ask you this.
Okay, and Jordan's right behind him.
Wait. You're telling me if I was an NBA GM and you told me I was going to get a player to give me 9 NBA seasons and I would get 6-7 scoring titles and I would get 2 or 3 MVPs, luckily win 3 championships, because we can't guarantee championships because of a player. So you're asking if a GM was going to take a player who played 9 years at his ultimate peak while another player played his peak for 20 seasons. LeBron legitimately has 3 peaks in his career, within his career, if you want to break down peaks, because it's really not a peak. He has a plateau. Since 2006 till today, LeBron James averages over 25 points per game, over 7 rebounds, and over 7 assists. It never changed.
How do you define the 3 peaks of LeBron?
Okay, again, we are talking about championships. Championships does not make Michael Jordan the GOAT. Championships.
It's a good indicator.
No,
you
it
just
doesn't.
brought up Bill Russell.
Are you
why
does
Bill's rings count, but Jordan's don't?
Me speak?
Why do Bill's rings count and Jordan's don't?
Bill Russell rings do count. Only Jordan fans eliminate Bill Russell's rings.
I never did that. I said he was second.
Listen again to what I tell you. Whatever you're using to trump Bill Russell's 5 more NBA championships that Michael Jordan does not have, I have enough to trump Jordan's 2 from LeBron to Jordan. I have enough to trump 2 NBA championships. LeBron
first of all, never dismissed Bill.
Oh wait, LeBron's onlys, meaning he is the only player to do this. Your guy doesn't have these type of records. He only did 3 things by himself. All right, he doesn't even have the points per game average for season by himself, because that's him and Wilt Chamberlain tied together at 30.1.
Well, what did Wilt get in the playoffs?
Again, Jordan has.
What did Wilt average in the playoffs?
Wilt
Do you even know? Do you even know?
22 points per game.
There you go. Okay.
What does that mean?
That means when it counted most, he didn't do as
and
good.
24.
That's false. That's false. That means when it counted the most, he became a team player.
And got what for it?
Huh?
Being a team player, did he lead his team to rings?
When he retired, besides anybody on the Celtics, he was the only player with multiple championships. Besides,
it's hard to say he's a better team player. He doesn't have as many rings.
Mute this man, please, because he doesn't let people speak.
Wait. What'd you say just now about the multiple championship? I couldn't hear that.
When Wilt Chamberlain retired from the NBA in 1974, besides anybody on the Boston Celtics or the Mike and Lakers, he was the only one with multiple championships. When
Oh,
he
okay.
ret-
I couldn't hear
when he
it with the
retired-
both talking. I couldn't
when he
hear
retired,
that.
yes, when he retired,
Yeah, I love hearing that type of things. That's
yes,
cool
yes.
to me.
When Wilt Chamberlain retired, he had the two best NBA season records with the Philadelphia 76ers and with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yep,
He had
33 in a row.
He had the longest winning streak in NBA history, which still I think it took LeBron James Heat to surpass, if I'm correct. If they didn't. Okay?
No,
So
no
Wilt-
one surpassed 33 yet.
Wilt Chamberlain
Heat is
has
second with 27.
Wilt Chamberlain was in an era which was considered the toughest era in NBA history. He had to face the greatest winner in NBA history. He still won 2 NBA titles in that era. He still won 4 MVPs in that era. Wilt Chamberlain's numbers are not to be denied. Even if we want to talk Bill Russell, statistically, 20 rebounds per game, 22 rebounds per game is just as dominant as 30 points per game. 22,000 rebounds is just as great as 30,000 points scored. So not only does Bill Russell have the championships, he has the MVPs and the stats to go behind it.
He's also the third highest assist average of any center ever.
Yeah, and that's only because Jokic showed up. But prior to that,
Russell the GOAT?
But
he was number one.
Wait. Prior to that, it was just him and only him and Wilt average over 4 assists per game.
So Russell's the GOAT?
Yeah.
No. Again,
okay.
By your
all these
standards,
reasons why he is.
Wait. By your
standard,
standards, he is the GOAT. Because by our standards, because when you asked me what make LeBron James the GOAT, I told you he accomplished everything: stats, accolades, and achievements. When it comes to stats, LeBron James, like I said, averages 27 points per game over 1,400 games. You can't find me anybody who's played that many much games that average more than 25 besides Karl Malone. Okay,
Look,
that played 1,400 games or more.
I'm not impressed by accumulation.
He averaged. Okay, that's a per average. I just gave you average.
Look, you're being biased now, right? These matter to me because it fits.
I didn't say that matter. I'm giving you great accomplishments.
It's the same thing either way.
No, it's not. Just because you devalue it, that doesn't mean I have to devalue
anything.
Listen, NMB, you're getting exposed by the exposer. Pay attention. Listen closely.
Just saying someone's exposed doesn't mean anything.
We gave you 5 minutes. You couldn't even do 5. I'm going to expose you in less than
It's hard.
I did it in 3. I don't need 5.
And I'm going to expose you in 3 minutes right now. Within 3 minutes, if you
haven't,
you haven't let me, because you don't let people speak. That's what y'all do. You don't let people speak. Again, LeBron James averaged 27 points per game for over 1,400 NBA games. You're not going to find nobody who has 1,400 games or more average over 25 besides him and Karl Malone. He averages over 7 assists and over 7 rebounds for over 1,400 games. The only player that averages over 25 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists is LeBron James and Oscar Robertson. So per game averages, LeBron James is automatically great. If we go to the totals, which you would love to dismiss by saying longevity, which I would love for you to define longevity when I'm done, LeBron James is the only NBA player to have 30,000 points, 10,000 assists, 10,000 rebounds. He's the only player to have 29,000 points, 9,000 assists, 9,000 rebounds. He's the only player to have 28,000 points, 8,000 assists, 8,000 rebounds. He's the only player to have 27,000 points, 7,000 rebounds, and 7,000 assists. In fact, today, the NBA posted the top 10 greatest scorers of all time, and they added Kevin Durant because they go by totals, not by averages. And they had LeBron James as number 1, the NBA. Totals tell you how great a player's career has been. His peak tells you how good he was for a short period of time. It's no one's
the
fault.
Best passer of all time?
Yes, he has over 15,000 assists. Can you find anybody with better passing?
All right.
Let me ask you this.
Totals. It's just totals is all that matters.
No. Again, totals are a part of it. I gave you the averages. LeBron James.
Or the averages when you define them during certain times.
I define them as what they are. Can you tell me anybody who
has the greatest points per game? Who cares about your averages and totals?
Again, Jordan cannot average 27 points per game for 1,400 games. Averaging 30 points per game tied with Wilt Chamberlain does not make Jordan the GOAT.
I would rather have that than the 27 and not as many rings to show for it. Doesn't
And
matter.
I would rather that's your subjectiveness, that's your biases, because whatever Jordan have, you see.
And your bias is that accumulation of totals matters.
Is Jordan's 30 points per game more valuable than Wilt Chamberlain's 30 points per game?
Technically, yeah, he technically averaged more. It's by a little bit.
Technically, how? 0.05?
If you actually look at the total breakdown, like if you throw in a few more decimal points, it is
who
higher.
has the better field goal percentage, Jordan or LeBron?
Where did they play? What position did they play?
by field goal percentage.
They play NBA
Jordan has a
basketball.
lower one.
Wait. You so as long as you accept.
Would you rather shoot 45 for 30 points per game in the playoffs, or shoot 22 for 50% in the playoffs?
If you accept 500 of a point per game as a stat valuable enough to make someone better, then you should appreciate 7/10 of a point more.
Will you guys bring up 3-point percentage? It's only what 2% in the regular season. Jordan actually shoots better in the playoffs. 3-point percentage.
Yes, so because Jordan has
we can do the whole
free throw line.
You're getting on this. You're getting in these little
no, it's not.
You guys do it too.
No, it's not. Because again, did we deny Jordan's field goal percentage and say that Jordan didn't have a higher field goal percentage in the playoffs?
I don't know. Did you? So you acknowledge
we didn't deny
he's a better 3-point shooter.
We didn't deny it.
Say Jordan is a better 3-point percentage shooter in the playoffs.
No. What is a better?
So you can't say.
Hold on, wait. What's a better sample size? The thousands of shots that they took during the regular season, or the little 200 shots or 100 shots they took in the postseason?
I care about if you make shots when it counts. That is what matters.
The regular season don't count to you. That's why you're casual.
I didn't say it didn't count. I said what matters more.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again. What
playoffs matter more?
What tells you again? That's being subjective. What tells you the better barometer? Michael Jordan, who shot a total of 1,700 3-pointers in the regular season, or Michael Jordan taking 400 in the playoffs? Which one tells you is Jordan's true shooting? Which one would give you the better evaluation of his shooting?
I guess both, right? You count them both.
Okay, you want to count both? Okay, so let's do that.
What's the difference?
Let's do the math.
Do the total.
Let's do the math. You right.
The numbers up here right now. The numbers up here now. Just so you guys know the numbers. These are the percentages from LeBron and Jordan in the postseason. I added Kobe as well.
So Jordan,
it's like a 1% difference.
Not a 1% difference. You listen. Jordan's
1.5.
Hold on, wait. Jordan's 3-point percentage ended up being a tick better than LeBron, 0.1 better than LeBron after this past postseason. Because prior to this postseason, LeBron was ahead of him. So you're going to dismiss Jordan being 0.7 points less on field goal percentage, but accept the 0.1 that he's higher than LeBron James.
What is the barrier for being so much better at something that you have to acknowledge it? You tell me. 1%, 2%.
The stat tells you if I shoot better than you, that means I shoot better than you. That's what it tells me.
Okay, would you rather shoot better in the playoffs or the regular season?
LeBron James shoots better in the playoffs.
For 3-point?
Not from 3-pointer, no.
Oh,
you talking about just
average more points per game?
So you would rather have the guy who shoots better from the 3-point line in general? That's what you're saying?
I'm just saying that's one thing. There's no magic bullet. There's no magic bullet to any of this. It's everything in a snapshot. It's not just one thing.
I go with the guy that has the most 30-10 playoff games, the guy that has the most 40-10 playoff game, the guy who has the most 30-point playoff games, the guy who has the most 35-5 playoff games. That's the guy I would go with.
Okay, I'll take the MVPs and the dominance and the defensive player of the year and the rings and the finals MVPs. I'll take all that over your stats.
And out of all of those things, the only thing Jordan holds by himself is the finals MVP. So what you're basically saying is that you're ignoring.
What do you mean holds by himself?
Yeah, he doesn't have the most MVPs. He doesn't have the most rings. He doesn't have the most defensive players
but he's
of the
second
years.
in MVPs.
Again, he doesn't have the most. So you're making him better than.
The argument is not that you have to be the best at a particular category to be.
And LeBron is third. LeBron has 4.
Okay,
LeBron
so he's
third.
behind Jordan.
LeBron is second in Finals MVPs. LeBron is second and third in MVPs, right behind Jordan.
In 10 tries, I'm not that impressed.
10 tries again. That means LeBron won more conference titles than Jordan. So he has.
Yeah, dude, I could have ran through the Eastern Conference when he was on the Cavaliers.
No, you can't even run through our debate well, let alone.
Bro, he played like 40-win teams when he was running through the first and second round in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, if that's the case,
on,
if that's the case, why did LeBron James beat more teams that have a better record than his team than Jordan did?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Winning's winning.
How does it matter? I thought you said winning.
I have to go look at it because I've seen several videos where that's not the case. So it depends on
No. Again, I am going to repeat what I told you because you don't listen. That's what you Jordan fans don't do.
You can't say I don't listen when I'm acknowledging everything you say.
LeBron James beat more teams that have a better record than his team has than Jordan did.
Or percentage?
Listen.
More teams or percentage?
Again, listen again. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. The teams he beat more teams that won more games than his team than Jordan did. So if you're using team record to state what team is better than the next in each
Again, it's a longevity argument.
Again, no, it's not longevity. Again, listen, you're not paying attention. If you're
and he's not even like the best player on his team half the time.
Rex, you see what's going on, Rex? You see this, right, Rex? You see it, right, Rex? This is why Goat James.
All right, go ahead, man.
Rex.
Just
because
run off
people
your
like
stats again.
Because people like MMB
minutes.
cannot handle stats. They can't handle talking basketball. They have to interrupt you. They have to get personal. They have to start telling you that you are being subjective when they're the ones who are being subjective. I am explaining stats to him, and he doesn't want to understand. If you're going to say that LeBron James played in the Eastern Conference because of team records, and you're using the team records, then why did Michael Jordan lose to more teams? Why did LeBron beat more teams than Jordan did that had better records than him? That means LeBron beat more teams that were better than his. No, it's not.
Played more seasons.
It doesn't matter what season. Even in the first 15 seasons, if we go again, Jordan did not win until he had a team. He could not win without
everybody does that. That's an argument only used against Jordan.
No, it's not used against Jordan. No, it's not because you're going to ignore winning outside of the finals. And when I tell you LeBron wins more playoff games, he wins
Jordan
more playoff
needed a
series,
team, but LeBron didn't.
I didn't say that. I'm telling you that you're crediting winning to Jordan when the winning is to be a credit to the team. We've always credited LeBron James' team for why his teams win, because teams win, not players. But LeBron James does his part. He is top 10 in over 12 playoff categories. He's top 5 in 7 of them. Do you understand the amount of
I get the accumulation of stats argument. Okay, no one is denying that.
You are denying it because you're saying it's not great.
It's not as great as a peak. That's my argument.
Jordan doesn't have the best peak. LeBron's peak is better than Jordan's peak.
No, it's not.
Yes, he averaged 25 points per game for 19 seasons. Jordan never did that. Jordan played 7 seasons at his peak. It's not better than 19.
The stat I mentioned earlier I was trying to get out is Jordan's the only player to lead his team in 4 out of 5 categories for an entire season. That was the one I was trying to get out.
That's false. Anthony Davis did it in 2020, and so did another player.
Oh,
that's false.
Davis did that for LeBron?
Yeah, in 2020, Davis led the league in points. He led the league in points.
Must be nice to have a player like that on your team.
No, it must be really nice to have an all-defensive player and an all-NBA player on your roster on the same season. LeBron only had that one time his whole career.
The difference being that Jordan was always better than those guys. LeBron
was better than
Ray
AD.
Allen, Kyrie
LeBron
Irving,
is better than
Anthony
AD.
Davis,
He's better than all those
Dwayne
guys.
Wade.
He's better than all those guys. LeBron is better than all those guys.
Not when it mattered most.
When it mattered most. And Scottie Pippen is better than all those guys as well.
Not when it mattered most.
What do you mean? Scottie Pippen has 6 championships.
Who hits all the clutch shots in the playoffs for LeBron's teams?
Who makes all the clutch plays? Scottie Pippen. Who makes the clutch steals?
Scottie Pippen made clutch plays. That's why Jordan had the steal and the shot on Karl Malone.
Of course,
and
he
Russell.
makes the tough plays because guess who was sticking John Stockton to keep John Stockton from scoring? Scottie Pippen.
So what? Who has all defensive teams?
Said, so
all defensive
what?
teams.
Yo, you are getting
all defensive teams.
We're eating again.
No,
Barbecue
you're not.
chicken. This is
Jordan is better than Scottie all across the board.
We didn't say Jordan wasn't better than Scottie. Who said that?
You're saying he's got to make the plays. That's not true.
Who said that?
Jordan made the plays.
You try to insinuate Kyrie Irving.
Jordan made the plays.
No, we told you that he had a better player than LeBron had, and that's the facts.
So is LeBron guarding the best player all the time?
He was on.
No, dude, come on.
Yes, he was. Who was guarding Derrick Rose?
No.
Who was guarding Derrick Rose?
LeBron does not guard the best player in one quarter for 1 quarter.
No, again,
that was one game in 1 quarter.
Who has Jordan shut down? Name one series Jordan shut down a player. Name
it.
If
you win 9 all defensive teams, first team, and a defensive player,
that's a regular season stat.
Twice get
those are regular season stats. Answer the question. What you do in the regular season has nothing to do with the playoffs. Who did Jordan shut down in the playoffs to win championships?
He had to guard, I'm sure, Gary Payton. He played Gary Payton. He had to play all kinds of people.
He's guarding 6'3" Gary Payton. 6'3" Gary
Payton. Well, hold up. Gary Payton said it himself. He was giving Jordan a business, but as soon as they switched Scottie Pippen on him, he couldn't score anymore. So this is from Gary Payton's mouth.
Y'all are using 1 quarter where LeBron guarded Derrick Rose to make your point. Like, I don't think that's the only.
It's not 1 quarter. You're lying.
Eric Rose said it himself. As soon as they switched
quarter.
LeBron on him, it was 3 games in a row, and Derrick Rose said he couldn't even move.
LeBron does not
from Derrick
put the
Rose
clamps
mouth
on anybody, man, ever.
That's what Derrick Rose said. I'm not going by what you think, but that's what Derrick Rose stated.
I'm not impressed.
That's what Derrick Rose stated.
So do you
Well,
think
the last three
what
games of
actually
the season.
do you think
happened?
defensive
Go-
player of
go
the
ahead,
year?
What
hold on,
actually
wait.
happened
You know what, NMB,
was-
let's let Rex save you because he seems to be the only objective and smart basketball fan in your whole channel. Go ahead, Rex.
what happened with that was the iconic moment was the score was tied at the end of regulation in game 4 of that series, and they went one-on-one, isolated D Rose, and LeBron switched on to him. He was not called the defender. He on the court made the call to switch on to D Rose. Rose couldn't get past him. He went between his legs, all the fancy stuff, ended up settling for a fall away with LeBron in his face, and he airballed it. And then they lost the series. They lost it in overtime. That was the iconic play. How many minutes he actually covered him and what his scoring was with LeBron on him throughout that series, I have no clue. But that is the iconic moment, was when they were going with the score tied, the Knicks were going for the win. D Rose was isolated, right side, top of the key. LeBron switched to him, D'd him up, and Rose could do nothing and airballed a shot at the buzzer that would have won the game. They ended up losing in overtime.
One play.
Yeah.
You mentioned one steal. You mentioned one steal.
Wait,
from
just acknowledge
Carmelo.
it was like one play.
Yeah.
You said it was a
It's
whole
not-
series.
No, it
you
was
meant-
not
you
one
mentioned-
play. It was not one
You
play.
mentioned one play of Jordan stealing the ball.
Does Clyde Drexler count?
Ball. When did he shut Clyde Drexler
Clyde
down?
Drexler averaged 25
Scotty
points a
Gardy,
game.
Clyde Drexler.
When did he
Clyde
shut Clyde Drexler down?
Drexler averaged his season averages in 92.
Uh-huh.
That's not bad.
They were less than Jordan, but he averaged his season averages in the finals.
Thank
I just looked that one up last week.
Yeah, I even exposed somebody. on
Who
that.
is the player that Jordan locked down for a series that had less numbers than like what he usually gets?
Well, when he covered
Byron-
Stockton in the
Byron
finals,
Russell.
Stockton really suffered.
That was Pippen. Pippen always guarded.
That was
the
Scottie
guards.
Pippen.
Jordan
John
never guarded
Stockton even
Stockton. Is that
stated.
your official
John
stance?
Stockton even stated it was Scottie Pippen.
Is your official
John Stockton
stance
stated
Jordan
this.
never guarded Stockton?
He
No,
guarded
our
him, but
sta- no,
John
our
Stockton
stance-
stated, yeah.
No, yeah, our stance is that Jordan wasn't the primary defender, nor was he there to guard Stockton to slow down. The person that was used to slow down Stockton was Scottie Pippen and Ron Harper. Jordan had the best defender in his era to help him play defense, and then they added other.
No,
players
because
on top
Jordan
of
was
that.
the best defender of his era.
No, he wasn't. Scottie
Yes,
Pippen
he
was
was.
better.
Team.
It's
Scottie
not
Pippen
even
was better.
close.
Scottie Pippen was better.
No.
Who has more
Jordan
offensive
twice.
selections?
Jordan twice got 200 steals, 100 blocks, 9-time
And
All-Defensive
Scotty did the
Player
same.
of
Scotty did it.
first team
Scotty has
Defensive
10
Player of the Year.
all-defensive selections. Scotty has 10 all-defensive selections. He has
And
more
he,
than
he
Jordan.
didn't, and he still didn't average. He still didn't average what Jordan averaged.
Yes, he does. He averages 2 steals per game. He's top 10 in steals and top
What
10
Jordan
in
average?
steals per game. Jordan
Jordan
averaged 2 steals, 2.3, 2.3.
Oh, by 3. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
You guys
Again,
love stats when it suits
no,
you.
it's
You
not
don't-
because
you don't
because
bring
the
up
players
context.
because the players who average more than Jordan, you don't acknowledge it.
Average
So
what?
are you gonna, wait,
You
so are you
pick
gonna
little
wait,
snapshots of like, oh, here
is
and here they
Baron,
average.
is Baron
see
Davis
that,
is
right?
Baron Davis a better defender than Michael Jordan since he averaged more steals than Michael Jordan in the playoffs where it matters the most?
No.
Okay, then so then why are you using it now?
Okay,
So
well,
why
I
are you
guess
using
stats
it
don't
now?
matter either.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter unless it's Jordan to you. Whatever Jordan did matters.
Same
Whatever
with
Jordan
LeBron.
did,
You just
no, it's
just
not.
ran it
Hold
for
wait.
5 minutes about
Yo,
stats with
NMB,
LeBron.
we just praised Bill Russell. We just praised John Stockton. We just praised Wilt Chamberlain. We just praised Scottie Pippen. We are
And I
praising
didn't?
No,
When did
you
I
haven't
say I don't
praised
praise
nobody
them?
but Michael Jordan at this point. You have not praised not one player but Michael Jordan.
I
You
would
have
love
not
to see.
praised
I would
not
love
one
to see you
player.
clip out when I
Oh,
dog
this
those
is going
other
to be
guys.
recorded because like your homeboy
I'm
was
recording
saying,
it too. I'm
wait,
gonna put it
wait.
up.
Your homeboy said LeBron plays no defense. Well, in defensive win shares, LeBron James was top 10 in 2020. He was top 15 in 2016. He was top 10 in 2013. That was just the last 10 years, right? If you want to go to defensive box plus minus, LeBron James was top 10 in 2021. He was 18th in 2020. He was 18th in 2019. He was 11th in 2016. But he doesn't play no defense. Defensive rating, LeBron James is up there. He is right now. He was top 5 in defensive rating in 2021. You guys make up things without using real numbers or stats.
Can I ask a question? Because I don't I don't
You're a
follow,
fake
so
basketball
I
fan.
don't know these things. How do they come up with that defensive rating stat?
Yes, defensive rating is based on when you're on the floor and how many points a team scores per 100 possessions. So it's basically based on how many points your team scores while you're on the floor with them for per 100 possessions. So when they say
Okay,
LeBron,
all right. No, that was originally a hockey stat that they've brought over to basketball then. Okay. All right, I understand now. So if you go into the bench and the other team goes on a big run while you're on the bench, that's not counted against you.
Yeah, no, exactly. But if you're on,
all right.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what they're saying when LeBron James's 104 rating means that for every 100 possessions, a team scores 104 points while LeBron's on the floor. But it's not because of LeBron, because like you said, those 100 possessions are predicated on when you're playing, who's on your team with you. You see what I'm saying? Michael Jordan's defensive rating is higher than Scottie Pippen's. So we're gonna say Scottie Pippen is better than Michael Jordan because of defensive rating? No. Again, these guys want to use stats when it fits their narrative for Jordan, but it doesn't fit for anyone else. So if we're gonna
do the same thing.
No, we're not. Everything that we
so your stats are better. Okay.
No, okay. Let me ask you a question. Do we ignore totals? No. We don't think LeBron James is the only one that has 30,000 points. We recognize he's the only one with 39,000. But we recognize those that scored 36, those that scored 33, those that scored 32, those that scored 30. We recognize all of these stats. There's not a stat that you're going to talk about that we don't recognize. We don't look for negative stats, because if we want to look up negative stats, we can bring up Michael Jordan's field goal missed shots. He led the league 7 times in missed field goals. Jordan fans don't want to talk about that. Jordan has 5 losing seasons. If we mention how many times somebody had a winning season, a third of Jordan's career was losing. He didn't even get to 41 wins in a season. If we bring up the most playoff appearances, Jordan's nowhere near that. He has 13. The highest is 19. Jordan is not the greatest at anything other than what you perceive him to be at. That's just the facts. We're giving you the things.
Totals are essentially top 5.
Tied with Wilt Chamberlain. Tied with Wilt Chamberlain. So that means he's tied. That means it's equal. Him and somebody else owns that record. What other record are you going to bring up Jordan has? Bring it up. Come on.
Dude, you cannot bring up that stat without bringing up the playoff drop-off that Wilt Chamberlain had.
Okay, why did Wilt Chamberlain playoff numbers drop from 30 points to 22?
You said it's because he was a better team player, but there's really nothing to show that. He doesn't have any championships to show.
Nick, there actually is.
You're wrong.
Having a higher assist number or something like that doesn't prove that you're making your team better.
He went from 25 shots per game to 13 shots per game, and that's why.
Okay, what were the results?
Two more championships.
2 champions.
So only 2. So he became a better
two championships, 2 MVPs. Okay, the rebounding champ, the scoring title record at the end of his career. All of that was accumulated when Wilt Chamberlain retired, my friend.
I'd rather have a ball and win 6 rings.
What? I'd rather win 11 rings.
Okay, so Jordan's second in that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's your GOAT then. He's not your GOAT.
Do you not understand the cumulative weight argument?
Do you understand?
You're using the fact that Jordan is not number 1 at something and holding it against him.
Do you understand everything that you stated that makes Michael Jordan the GOAT doesn't make Michael Jordan the GOAT? Do you understand that?
Do you understand that just because you are not number 1 at something is not as if you're not the greatest? That's not a thing.
So if I accomplish something more than you have, I can't be considered greater than you?
Again, if we took 10 players, I'll make an example for you. We take 10 players, right? And we have 10 categories, correct? And in each category, one of the 10 players ends up being number 1, a different player of the 10. But another player gets second or third in all of the categories. Do you understand? That is a bigger cumulative weight and accomplishment and achievements and accolades and stats and all that stuff you mentioned than the fact that one guy was the better here and one guy was better there. If Jordan's coming in top 5 across the board on so many things, that is a cumulative weight that matters more than the fact that one guy got 1 here, another guy got first here.
False. Jordan is not top 5 across the board. You keep saying that. He's not.
I'm not being literal, all right? Like steals per game, right? Points per game. For his position, he is the best shot blocking and one of the top 5 rebounding guards of all time. 2 categories that for his position, right? He's not going to be in the all-time.
But he's not top 5 of all time. He's not top 5 of all time.
In what? Shot blocking point guard.
Blocks.
Yeah, he's
not top 5 of all
the
time
best
in blocks.
shot blocking per game guard of all time. I think Dwayne
But
Wade
he's not
has
the
more.
best of all time.
You're defining best as just accumulating more. That's
No,
not.
we're defining
that
best
can be
amongst
debated.
all players. Again,
He doesn't have more on average more.
It's
Doesn't
called
have more
all
average more.
time. You cannot exclude things when all is in the discussion. That means everything must be included. You can't just say, well, it's because his position.
What am I not
Nobody
including?
cares about what Jordan does in his position. What does he do compared to all the greatest players that ever played the game? Dwayne Wade is not even a top 20 player on your list. So why are you comparing him to Dwayne Wade?
Who brought up Dwayne Wade? Oh, it's talking about shot blocking. I'm talking about shot blocking.
Yeah, you're talking about shot blocking. You're making him better than because he's better than Dwayne Wade at shot blocking that makes him the greatest player of all time? No.
Yes, like if you play point guard, right, and you are like the best shot blocking point guard, no one is expecting you to get as many blocks as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I've never heard
it. Doesn't matter. It shows another.
Jordan does not have the same amount of blocks.
He's not even close.
Matter of fact, Jordan averages 0.8 blocks with LeBron, who you consider don't play no defense.
He played small forward. He's not even top 10 in any categories for a small forward.
He averages less than a block per game. He's not that great at blocking shots. Stop the shit. Stop it.
So hold on. You say he's not top 5 for his
shooting guard
position.
Averaging the same amount of blocks. Which one is more impressive? The shooting guard. Easy.
And what about the assists? The small forward who average more assists than the guard.
Yeah, but he plays point guard. That's not really the comparison you think it is.
Yeah, I know. You are getting exposed.
He has the ball in his hands all the time.
I'm going to take a break because I've been exposing him so much that I need to go smoke a joint. This is great. GOAT James Kingdom, y'all. This is what we do to Michael Jordan fans who can't talk basketball. He is a pure example of why we exist. Rex, you need to keep killing these guys because I know you fight hard for the 60s and you fight hard for those players. And guys like this tell you these guys are not great, so Jordan could be boosted up some high pedestal. You know damn well Wilt Chamberlain was greater than Jordan in his peak. You know that.
Well, Wilt was just,
thank you.
50 and 25.
Wilt had the natural advantage.
So did Jordan. Jordan was playing against Craig Elo, my friend. Dennis Johnson.
I know. No, you don't have to tell me. I have a total list.
Exactly.
I have a list.
Yeah.
I have a list of every shooting guard that Jordan played against from his first game ever to his last game ever.
And most of them were smaller and shorter than him.
Rex, your mic
he had an average of a 2-inch advantage over the average shooting guard at the time.
And athleticism, just like Wilt Chamberlain. It wasn't just because Wilt Chamberlain was 7'1".
Yeah, but that was something that I brought up though after you guys left the other live chat. And I don't know. Once again, I'm not a fan. I don't watch basketball. I haven't watched basketball in a decade. So I'm going off what other people have said and then just what you see on YouTube.
Hey, Rex, I'm from Chicago, so I got to watch him a lot, Michael Jordan. So when I listen to a lot of people talk Jordan, I know they didn't see him play. Because if you said Michael Jordan is a better defender than Scottie Pippen, no one said that during that time. No one, not one person. So when you say
his teammates and his coach don't say that. His teammates and coach don't say that.
Y'all basing it on numbers because the numbers say differently.
His teammates and coach.
I don't have to base it off. I don't have to base it off numbers. Numbers ain't the all in be all, bro.
But I don't understand. But here's the thing.
It's all about Scotty guarded, but not the numbers to say what's.
But like the thing that I don't get,
it's not even about that. It's about how long was your defense elite. It's about how long your defense was elite at a consistent level. When you have a player like Michael Jordan, that you have to keep in mind that he won 10 scoring titles. With him winning 10 score titles, 9 of those that he won, he also was first team All NBA defense. He's the only player in NBA history to do those two things. There's never been another NBA player to be first team defense and win a scoring title more than once than Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. But Kobe did it twice. This man did it for 9 straight seasons. That's called
Jerry West got one actually.
But that's also a position. That's that position though.
Hold on, let me finish real quick, Rex. I just said that more than once. Jerry West did it once. Kobe and Mike the only ones that do it more than once. But Kobe did it twice. That ain't nothing compared to Michael that did it 9 times. So think about how elite level he playing on both sides of the court while putting up these scoring numbers. Like we could talk about Wilt and Wilt what all he did, but the facts is and can't deny he was a playoff drop. It don't got nothing to do with his assist or playmaking. You don't go from averaging 50 in the regular to just averaging 28 in the playoffs, sir. That's crazy.
That didn't
almost
happen. There's a lot of stuff that y'all are throwing out the window. And the one thing that you need to understand when you're a fan is you need to try and comprehend situation and circumstance. I mean, Wilt played an NBA final with a broken shooting hand. Did you really expect him to average 30 a game?
There's one.
Is that even a realistic achievement?
There's one finals.
Okay.
How many he went to? So you gonna give him the same excuse for every finals?
No, I'm not giving him an excuse. I have no favorite player, dude. You need to understand. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't care. I'm telling you what happened.
What you guys are doing.
I don't care.
Lex, this is the problem. This is what they're doing. What they're telling us is that, well, Wilt Chamberlain can average 39 points, 40 points in the regular season, but for some reason in the playoffs, he was shut down. He can't do it. He couldn't step up to the plate.
When he averaged 40 points a game, he wasn't making the playoffs. His team wasn't good.
Listen, he
didn't play. He didn't play in the finals.
This is why we talk stats and we talk real achievements. Listen, Wilt Chamberlain between
you want to call me a liar? Prove it.
Listen, I'm gonna prove him wrong right now. Between 1960 and 1966, for those 7 seasons, Wilt Chamberlain averaged. I'm sorry, hold on, wait. Let me see here. He averaged 39 points per game. Let me just make sure I get this correct because I don't want to be off. I like to be right. All right. So he averaged
95, 96 in the playoffs.
He averaged 39.6 points per game, shooting 51% from the field and 31 attempts per game. That was what Wilt Chamberlain was averaging for those 7 seasons. During those same playoffs, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 33 points per game, which is just 6 points different, at 50.5, which is just 0.5 less in field goal percentage, and he took 5 less shots per game. Wilt Chamberlain was not shut down because he took 5 less shots per game. He was still averaging 32 points per game, 26 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting 50% from the field. He was
averaged 30 rebounds a game in one of those series.
And he was not being shut down. Now, to mention what I was telling you about him being a better team player, after that 66 season, Wilt Chamberlain decided to stop shooting the ball a lot. He went from taking, like I said, over 30 shots per game to taking 15 shots per game. And between those, that's the time he made the playoffs the most in his career. He played the most playoff games. He won the most during that era. And he went to averaging 18 points per game, but he went down to shooting 13 shots per game because he was told to not shoot anymore. That was his job.
When they told Jordan,
because he wasn't playing a winning style. He wasn't playing a winning style of basketball.
What happened for the 5 years after he won that first ring?
Simple.
Why doesn't the logic follow for the
next
5 years?
That wasn't the year he won the first ring.
I know, but why doesn't that logic follow for the next 5 years?
Pay attention. He made the finals in 64 for the first time in his career. Then he made the finals again in 67. They won the championship. They had the best record in NBA history. He was the champion league MVP.
How much he averaged that year?
That year, he averaged in a regular season in 1967. He averaged 24 points per game, shooting 14 shots.
That's the year they won the championship.
That's the year they won the championship, 1967.
All right. Well, look at the numbers and look what the numbers are telling you. What the numbers are. I don't just look at numbers and just be like, oh, he averaged this and all that. I'm looking at what the numbers are telling me. The numbers telling me is when the ball was least out your hand, like when you're not averaging 50 and 30, your team was more successful.
That's the same thing for Jordan, and that's why I find it weird. Jordan fans, I find it weird that Jordan fans love to diminish Wilt Chamberlain when him and Wilt Chamberlain have identical careers. Jordan's best season scoring was when he had the ball in his hand the most and taking the most shots. When he was told to stop shooting as much and to pass the ball and be a more team player, he started winning more. When they put the ball
but how many times Jordan averaged? But how many times he did average 30 in the regular, they averaged 30 in the playoffs, and they won? Though it's the consistency of his numbers.
No, because Jordan never took less than 23 shots per game. Wilt Chamberlain did.
That's cool, but that's what I'm saying. But listen,
it doesn't
we're
matter
talking about impact.
Or not. That's not impact. You're providing impact that's not factual, because Jordan averaging 37 points per game leads to 40-win season. Doesn't lead to a championship. That's his best season scoring.
All right, listen. I'm not even talking about the year he averaged 37. What did he average from 91 to 93? Of
course, he wanted to delete certain seasons.
91 to 93 is 31.4 points per game. That's not as high as
31.4 point. And what he averaged in the playoff? And what did he average in the playoffs?
And then during those same playoffs between 94 and 93, he averaged 33.7.
All right. So what that's giving me is consistency, but even a playoff rise. He went from 31 in the regular, went up to 33 in the playoffs. That's a playoff rise right there within
that's not,
consistency.
because he went from shooting 24 shots per game to taking 27 shots per game or 26 shots per game. He just shoots more. Shooting more don't make you better.
3 attempts a game. That ain't nothing. What's his field goal?
You're already shooting 23 shots per game. That's already above average for any player in that era.
Okay, but what's the field goal percentage?
His field goal percentage was under 50%. Wilt Chamberlain. Okay, wait a minute. When Wilt Chamberlain decided to take 15 shots per game in 1967, he was shooting 68% from the field.
He was shooting, bro. Let's keep it honest, bro. He was shooting 68% because 7 out of the 8 teams that was in the league, half of their seasons was 6'10", bro. He was the tallest out of everybody, bro.
Jordan was taking 24 shots per game because he was playing against Hersey Hawkins, Craig Elo, and a bunch of bums who couldn't guard him.
Yeah, but he still,
in the 1900s.
Listen, but most of his points would still come within the paint. He still had to meet those bigger dudes that was in the paint that was bigger than him, and they tried to throw him down most of the time.
Yeah, I'd have to go find the shooting stat, but essentially, if you take out dunks and layups, Jordan's a better shooter across the board.
1991, the league added flagrant fouls, which means Jordan was no longer being bullied by any centers in the paint.
Look, like this. When people look at when people look at field goal percentage, I hope it's just common sense. Basketball. The big man, a dude that played close to the basket, DeAndre Jordan even made records. His field goal percentage is always going to be higher than even the most elite guard in the NBA. It's always. So like him having a high field goal percentage, that's something that he supposed to do. Like Wilt Chamberlain, 68, 50-some%, of course. But if I got Jordan shooting 47, 50-some% while giving me 30-some points, and his shit is going up, he goes up, and it leads to winning. It's working. That's impact showing. What showed me in Wilt numbers is that at your highest level, you wasn't winning.
Let me ask you this. Scottie Pippen shot 52% in 1991. Should Scottie Pippen take 20 shots per game because his field goal percentage is 52%?
What? And how many? Hold on. He shot. Say it again.
Scottie Pippen's field goal percentage was 52% in 1991. Should Scottie Pippen take 25 shots per game because his efficiency is over 50% like Jordan is?
No.
That's a bad analogy.
It's not a bad analogy. You listen.
Pippen can't score. Even when Jordan was around, he averaged the exact same.
Based on what? Oh, wait. Based on what? He shoots over 50%. How is he not a good scorer?
Scottie cannot create his own shot. Everyone knows that. There's a difference between making open shots and being able to create shots.
Based off what?
You never watched.
So Steve Kerr's better than Steph Curry?
What?
Steve Kerr's got a better 3-point percentage all time, right?
He's a better shooter. He shoots better.
Because he can hit open threes?
Nah, he's not a better shooter.
Steve Kerr's going to shake someone down and pull up in their face. Show me that highlight. I'd like to see that.
Since when is that the determination of who the best player is?
Oh, listen. When you're talking about shooting, you go to efficiency, field goal percentage. When you're talking about scoring, you go to points. Stephen Curry's the better scorer. LeBron's the better scorer than Jordan, but we're talking about
better shooter too.
The point is that if Michael Jordan can take 25 shots per game because his efficiency is 50%, that means any other player should be able to take 25 shots per game if their efficiency is above 50%.
No, that doesn't track.
No. That doesn't make sense. Look, because the lesser attempts. Hold on, let me say this real quick. It's like with Steve Kerr. Steve
Kerr the ball, I guess.
Steve Kerr, he got the highest 3-point percentage of all time, right, bro? Right?
Yes.
So with him having the highest,
and I'm gonna let him shoot whenever he wants. He can shoot threes whenever he wants.
Whenever he wants. You're gonna give him the ball and let him operate.
Okay, but look, how many attempts?
You don't watch basketball if you really think that.
Listen.
So are you telling me giving Steve Kerr a 3-pointer is a bad shot?
Steve Kerr, he's gonna break him down. He's always faking.
That's not about breaking down.
That's why he has 4 teammates, Nick. That's why he has 4 teammates.
He has to take the shot. He has to take the shot. You're telling me if we decided to let Steve Kerr shoot threes, we would not know basketball? Is that what you're saying there?
You're acting as if because someone simply is efficient, that means that they can do that consistently for 25 shots a game.
Yeah,
But
they
that
can.
doesn't track.
Your efficiency
No, your
says that you
efficiency
can
says
shoot
you're
that
hitting
shot
open shots.
consistently.
No,
It doesn't matter. He
don't.
still
No,
has to hit
Oh
this
my
shot.
God.
no, bro. What are
Steve
you,
Kerr's
bro?
a
What
good
are you talking about?
Steve Kerr's a better
This
scorer
dude
than
making
Jordan,
bad arguments.
or a better
It is-
shooter than
Let me
Jordan.
ask you a question.
Oh,
How
you
does
realize
Scott-
you
wait,
still got
wait,
to hit this shot,
wait.
right?
How does Scottie Pippen? How does Scottie Pippen average 52% efficiency? What kind of shots he taking to shoot 52% for the game?
Well, to kind of use your defensive argument against Jordan, I'll use the offensive
The
argument
spot
against
of shooting.
Scottie. I guess everyone's focused on Jordan, so he gets open shots.
Pippen only averaged 50% or more 2 times during his career, and one
Again,
time in the playoffs. So.
I understand that Jordan only averaged over 50% 10 times out of the 10 scoring title seasons, 55 half of the time, 50% of the time. Jordan doesn't always shoot 50%. He actually shoots less than 50% for his career.
Oh,
So
and
again-
indeed. Also, I already debunked
again-
the Steve Kerr Curry thing. So
No.
you don't
That's not
have
the
to.
point. Again, if I give Stephen Curry 10 3-pointers and I give Steve Kerr 10 3-pointers, it's more than likely Steve Kerr's going to make more than.
That's
than
not
Jordan.
a game situation.
No, that's
It's a
not.
genuine argument.
That's not true, bro.
That's
He's
a
shooting.
again, content.
Going by the numbers is true. Going by the numbers is true.
How is
not a
No,
game
it's
situation.
not, bro. You don't
How
know
is
how to
Scottie-
look at
How is
efficiency,
Scottie
bro.
Pippen shooting 52% from the field when Jordan's not a great playmaker? How is he getting Scottie those open shots?
Is that a
By
serious
setting
question?
up,
As
by
if the defense is not focused on Jordan?
bro, because Jordan is playmaking. He set up the play, just like with Steve Kerr. Y'all remember
Scottie
Steve Kerr
Pippen's
hit
the
the
playmaker on the
clutch?
team.
Y'all remember
So-
Steve Kerr hit
so
the clutch
Scottie-
shot in the
You're
playoffs?
done, bro.
Scottie
That's
So
Pippen's the
Scottie
playmaker
Pippen,
on the
so
team.
Scottie, so Scottie
you
Pippen
need to
helped
sign
Jordan.
off, bro. You need to
Hold on.
sign off.
That's not sign. You need to
Pippen's
sign
a
off because you
playmaker.
haven't proved nothing. You've been
Pippen's
on
a
him for an
playmaker.
hour. He is a
I'm
playmaker.
snipping this. I'm snipping
So
this.
you're saying Scottie
Scottie
Pippen
was a
wasn't a
playmaker over
playmaker on the
Jordan.
Bulls?
Good Lord.
Scottie Pippen was
Brandon,
absolutely the
Brandon,
playmakers for the
They
Chicago
don't
Bulls.
know.
Michael
Brandon,
Jordan
they
was
don't
not.
know.
Scottie Pippen
Wait,
was
Brandon,
known as
Brandon,
the
they
point
do
guard
not know
right
what
now.
Brandon.
Playmaker.
They think
Okay.
playmaking means running around without the basketball. They literally think that's playmaking. They don't know basketball.
Not
They know
what we said.
efficiency. Again,
You talking
You are-
gravity.
no, that's what they're talking. Explain to me how Jordan is a better playmaker than Scottie Pippen.
Because it simply says what the word is. It's the word is called
Okay,
playmaking.
no. Let's run this theory through. So when
Huh?
Jordan left,
The word is called
how much better
playmaking,
did
like-
Pippen do?
He's a better playmaker
He
than Scottie
averaged
Pippen.
more points, more rebounds, more
How
blocks,
many?
more
How many more?
steals.
How many more?
He averaged. I
More?
think he averaged
I don't
22 points per game, so he averaged like 2
And he
more
led
points
them
per
to
game.
Two
led
more
them to 55
points.
wins.
He
His
was
efficiency
third.
went down across the board.
No, he was third in MVP voting in 1994. That's what Scottie Pippen was. That's how
What
great Scottie Pippen
what
was.
did Michael Jordan do without Scottie Pippen? What about that one?
Scottie Pippen in 1993 shot 47% from the field. So that's
That's
not bad.
good. That's good.
Oh, no,
That's
I'm sorry.
not
That's the wrong year. I'm sorry. That's wrong. At 49%. It went up. In 93, he shot 47%. When Jordan left, it went up to 49%, and he averaged 4 more points the next season.
90 to 92, he shot over 50%, and then it dips down to 47, 49, 48, 46.
No, in 1993.
Why isn't it getting better?
1993, Jordan was on the team. So he shot 47% in 93, and when Jordan left, he went up to 49. The next year after that, it was 48. If we want to go to Michael Jordan's numbers, because again, you guys are bringing up stuff, Michael Jordan's field goal percentage went down as his career went down as well.
His points
Jordan-
per game too.
His points per game went down. Jordan went from averaging 52% shooting in 92 to 49 in 93. Then he went to 49 again in 96, then 48 in 97, 46 in 98, 42 in 2002, and 44 in 2003. So Jordan has 6 seasons out of his 15 seasons where he shot above 50%. The rest were under 50%, which is why his field goal percentage in general is under 50%.
Can I just say something
It's
real
no-
fast?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Michael Jordan fans are the best.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta get my kids some food.
All right, hey, listen, hey, you guys,
Hey,
listen, you guys, make sure to follow Rex. Rex has his own page. I think it's called Political. What's your page name, Rex?
Politicus Rex.
Politicus Rex. Okay, make sure you follow NMB Sports. Also, shout out to Dart, which is Michael Jordan fans are the best. He represents the Jordan fans like no other because Craig and Travis and them don't take one for the team, but Dart takes one for the team. He represents Jordan fans to the best. So shout out to him. We have SFM, first time showing up on our show. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. And we also have our boy Twin Man. What up, Twin Man? You've been very patient. Appreciate you, Twin Man. So Rex, you have a great day. Thanks for joining us. You know where to find us. We are GOAT James Kingdom. We're looking forward to seeing you again, my friend. Thank you.
Yes, sir. See y'all later.
See you, Rex.
All right, see you, Rex.
I just wanted to thank you guys for coming on the channel earlier, and you guys bring some value entertainment. I just wanted to put that out there. I know you guys are on this subject, but I'd love to debate Michael Jordan fandom against you guys. I don't know if you're interested in that or you just stick to the GOAT argument. I'm not trying to detract from the show, but if you're interested in that, I'd love to do that sometime.
This show already went left. This show went left around the corner. But I'm gonna just speak my case. I have no problem with Michael Jordan fans as long as they admit to their biases. I know some people who tell me Michael Jordan is the GOAT because of such things as popularity. If these are the factors you want to use, that's fine with me. There's no argument there because there's no tangible evidence to prove false.
Can I tell you why I think he's the why I feel like he's the GOAT?
Yeah, you can tell me. Give me a second. I'm gonna move on. So for me, my problem with Jordan fans is that they accuse us of things that they do themselves. We do not discredit errors. We do not discredit players. We recognize everyone's greatness and we measure them by their greatness. So that is the upsetting part. And obviously they don't let us speak because obviously when we start talking numbers, stats, accolades, it starts to deter their whole stance and they don't allow us to speak. You just had Young Miami on your show. Just to let you know, he is a GJK groupie. He only showed up on your show because we promoted your show. So at the end of the day, we have fans like that come attack us because we just think LeBron's the GOAT. You can have Jordan as the GOAT, but just prove it. We could prove why LeBron's the GOAT. You prove your case. If you can't prove it, it's not our fault. So that is our only problem. But Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players to ever play. He has the right to have fans. He has the right to be acknowledged for all of his greatness, and we would never take anything away from Michael Jordan. Anything. That's my last statement on that.
Okay, so there's no debate. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
really can't take nothing away from Michael Jordan, but to me, it's just a delusion. Like people discredit the great team around Michael Jordan. We forget Jordan. He did all this shit before Scottie Pippen and got nowhere. He was chucking up a bunch of shots, accumulating a bunch of points, and getting bounced in the playoffs because he didn't have a team. So now Jordan gets his team, he gets his 6 rings, and we're going to diminish the defense of Scottie Pippen. We're going to diminish the great play of Horace Grant, B.J. Armstrong, Ron Harper, Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr.
Bro, nobody is diminishing, bro.
No,
bro,
just because we take a binary, doesn't mean we hate the other.
Bro, listen,
right,
nobody's
y'all are twisting words.
Let them talk,
bro. Nobody.
Let them talk.
Go ahead.
Just let them talk. Just let them talk. Go ahead, to it, man.
I'm just telling you, every time I hear these conversations, it's always, what did Scottie do? Scottie, for his team, he would average more rebounds than Jordan. He averaged more assists than Jordan. He'd average more steals than Jordan. He'd do a lot for that team. So to sit here and pretend like Scottie Pippen was an integral part in Jordan getting 6 rings is ridiculous. It is just ridiculous.
Bro, y'all
we saw Jordan without Scottie Pippen, and he didn't get anywhere.
It's ridiculous to bring up stats without acknowledging LeBron had teammates that helped him get those stats.
I absolutely will say he had teammates. Absolutely.
It's a moot point.
I'm sitting here saying before he had Dwayne Wade, before he had Chris Bosh, he carried his team. Jordan couldn't do that.
Bro, okay,
LeBron
but nobody degrades their teammates, bro. Nobody degrades his teammates. It's just 9 days, bro. Y'all try to over, and I'm just telling the truth. Y'all try to overrate Scottie to build up LeBron, but it's not gonna build up. Like it doesn't matter. Even if he was a great player, it's not gonna work, bro. Like it's a lot of shit people say about Scottie now. These last 2 seasons trying to make this LeBron and stuff debate, bro. People weren't talking about, bro. Like literally, we weren't having conversations about this. Like off of you to like stop, bro. Like, stop.
Who was having a conversation about what? Who was having a conversation about what?
Just sit here and say that was a lie about Scottie Pippen.
We weren't having conversations trying to make it seem like, oh, Scottie and Michael, it's like this was 50-50. It wasn't. It was more like the 80-20
player of all time.
My question is though, why do we
80-20?
Oh wait, why is it that when we give Scottie Pippen credit, that instantly the first thing y'all do is compare Mike to Pippen? We're not saying Scottie Pippen is better than Mike. We're just saying that Scottie Pippen was
great.
Help.
B. Lee said Scottie was the playmaker. That is saying he's better than Jordan in many ways.
He was the playmaker. He was the playmaker.
You guys are arguing that he's better than Jordan.
Wait. Do you understand playmaking is just a small aspect of the game? It's not the whole game.
Hold on for a second, Johnny. Hold on, Jay. So would you say that John Stockton was the playmaker on the Utah Jazz?
I would not. I would say it was him and Carl about equally.
No, because
Okay, so
that would be hard. That would be hard to gauge.
There's no point of talking about playmaking if you believe that John Stockton wasn't the playmaker on that squad.
He was the straw that stirred the drink. I guess you needed to find playmaker.
No, he's the playmaker. He sets up the play. He gets the ball to the right person so they can get the right shot. That's
what point guards do.
That's what a playmaker is.
Point guards are playmakers.
Yes. If you go Google the definition of a playmaker, the thing that's
Scotty was a bigger playmaker than Jordan, even though Jordan was the guard.
Listen, Scotty was the point forward. He invented the point forward. That's what made Phil Jackson so smart. I have records right now showing that Phil Jackson stated that it was because of Scottie Pippen's ball making facilitating was why the Bulls were able to win in '91. He was their ball facilitator. He set up the triangle offense. He got Jordan in the right spots.
Okay, so just for the record, Scotty was the playmaker of the Bulls.
That's what his coach says as well.
Okay.
His coach says this as well.
Okay, now wait. Before you go running with this, put this in your record and put.
I just said okay. I just y'all said it. It's okay.
A playmaker is somebody who dribbles the ball into the right spot and passes the ball into the right area to the right player to make the spot, or sets up the screen that allows for a player to get open. Those are the three form aspects of playmaking in the NBA. A player like
and setting screens. Okay.
Yeah, that's why Karl Malone and John Stockton are top three in turnovers because they make the most. Karl Malone set a lot of screens. This guy puts a lot of passes out there. He sets up a lot of plays. Okay. That's your job. It's called ball handling, passing, and screening.
Passing and picking makes you a playmaker. Okay.
That's what a playmaker is. That's not what that's what it is. That's the definition of a playmaker.
Whatever you say, man.
That's not what I say. That's what I say. That's not what I say. I'm just telling you.
Is there a definition of playmaker?
The definition of a playmaker is somebody who sets up the play, who ball facilitates. That is your job as a playmaker. Okay. Yes. What is a playmaker, NMB?
A playmaker, I would say, is someone who essentially is the focal point of their offense. They are making plays, scoring, getting steals, defensive stops. It's all around. You could say PER in a way is playmaking to a certain degree.
So, I would agree with you. On defense, playmaking on defense is stealing the ball and blocking shots. That's making a play. That's defense. We're talking offense now. On the offensive side of the ball, a playmaker is somebody who's the offense is put around. How does that player make the play then? How does that play created because I said Shaquille O'Neal is my number one option? How do I create a play? Scotty. Yeah. How do I create a play for Shaq to get the ball?
The offense centered around Scotty. Is that what you're saying as a playmaker? No.
I'm saying Scotty set up the plays. He actually formatted, make sure all the plays were happening. Or whatever plays the Bulls wanted to run, he was the initiator of those plays. That makes him the playmaker.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you know that?
I completely disagree. I think you're just fitting that narrative for Scotty.
James.
Let's lose.
LeBron James is the playmaker. He was the playmaker for Cleveland. He was the playmaker for Miami, and he's the playmaker for LA.
Who's the playmaker? So let me ask you, who's the playmaker on the Warriors?
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. That's really crazy.
Bro, this is
really crazy. Let me ask you a question. Wait. What makes Stephen Curry the main playmaker?
His gravitas.
What is this gravitas? What does that mean?
I'm running down court. Let me find where Draymond is because he's gonna make a play. Come on.
Wait a minute.
Quadruple single.
Come
on, bro.
Are you saying that Stephen Curry running without a basketball in his hands is making a play?
For him, yes, because of his skill set. Not everybody in general.
How?
Steve Kerr running around isn't as deadly as Steph Curry.
Stephen Curry is running around the court right now. How is a play created because of that?
Because they are focused on him. You have to know where he is at all times.
How is
the ball in his hand when Stephen Curry is running around the court?
I got this.
It's like Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was the focal point. The best thing he did was move without the ball.
Again, I ask you, they're running without the basketball. How is there a play made because you have no basketball in your hand and you're just running around the court?
I will say it again if you didn't hear me the first 3 times. When Curry is on the floor, the defense must account for him 99% of the time. They must know where he is at all times. That opens things up for other people. You cannot tell me that if a defense is mainly focused on one guy, that doesn't make plays easier for everyone else on the floor.
Why am I
Like,
focusing
you can't
on
be
one?
serious with not understanding
I'm
Stephen
asking,
Curry
yes,
playmaking analogy.
again, listen, I'm asking you. Stephen Curry's running around without the ball.
I explained it. I'm not going to say it for a fifth time.
What is the defense doing?
That's what
Stephen
you keep
Curry?
doing, though.
Again, what is Stephen Curry doing that forces the defense to pay attention to him if he's running without the ball? What are they doing? What is the defense doing?
They are paying attention to Curry.
But by how? By what? By what fashion?
By knowing where he is at. You have to pay. Do you play defense? You have to know where people are at. I don't understand why that's hard to understand.
So knowing where you're at is playing defense.
No, I'm saying his playmaking ability constitutes the fact that the defense must account for him at all times. Are you telling me defenses don't pay attention to where Curry is?
No, I'm saying that you have yet to prove where the playmaking is at with Stephen Curry running without the basketball.
I guess we're just going to talk past each other because I don't know how else to explain
it. Let me explain.
Was Reggie Miller the playmaker on the Pacers?
Let me explain this.
Mark Jackson was the playmaker.
Let me explain this to you. The point guard, or the guy who controls the offense, brings the ball up to the floor. He finds a spot to where he can make a pass to someone in the post. The person in the post did not create that play. The person who passed him the ball created the play.
There's no one to pass to if the postman doesn't create space for him to receive the ball.
What? You can't get the man has.
You can't get the ball in the post if the guy doesn't make a play to get there.
Again, what play? How is he making a play?
You got to get open.
How?
There's no one to pass to if you don't get open.
How do you get open?
There's four
seal your man off.
3 other players on the court.
Huh? No.
Seal your man off. You get position.
Seal your man off with what? Your body?
Yeah.
Okay. So I said I just specifically explained that the guy posts up. He's posting up. I get the ball to a certain position so I can pass him the ball while he's posting up. So again, who made the play? Not the guy who posting up. The guy who dribbled the ball. So
you're saying doing entry passes to the post is playmaking?
Yes, because if the guy who's standing on the post, listen, pay attention. If the guy who's standing on the post doesn't have the ball, there is no play to be made.
I never knew I was the playmaker of my high school teams my entire time by just
you probably wasn't good at it. That's why you didn't know that.
According to you,
this is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. So you really believe Stephen Curry running around without the basketball, even though Draymond is bringing the ball up court, he's initiating the offense. You think Stephen Curry's the playmaker on the team, though?
Let me ask you a question.
Initiating the offense and being playmaker is not.
Wait. Stephen Curry is on the strong side. You know what strong side means, correct?
Yes.
Strong side
which the ball handler's at.
He runs from the strong side to the lower baseline around the paint and goes to the other side of the baseline. If Draymond Green is on the strong side, can Draymond Green get Stephen Curry the ball on the weak side, on the other side of the court?
Sounds like that's not what the play is designed to do. So it's kind of a stupid.
Oh no, that's what we're trying to explain.
Can you make a cross-court pass into the corner because Steph Curry's the playmaker?
That's what we're trying to explain to you. So the fact that Draymond Green will put himself at the right position so that when Stephen Curry ends up at that spot, the ball will be there. So the person creating that play is the person who first screens for Stephen Curry to get open, and the ball facilitator who gets the ball. And the right time, the right spot, the right everything. So that means if you don't pass the ball correctly, if you don't get him the ball at the right timing and everything, he's not going to get a shot off. The play is being made by the screener and the passer, not the guy running without the basketball.
What's the point of setting a screen for someone if they're not even a threat?
Again, the screen is setting the play up. That's why you set a screen.
Yeah, but if he can't shoot, if he can't make shots, what's the point?
Again, you're setting a screen to get a shooter open, not to get a non-shooter open. That's why it's called playing a play. That's the play.
Right, so who's got to make the play to make it all work?
The screener. If the screener doesn't screen, again, the screener doesn't screen the defender, the shooter never gets open.
Let me put it this way.
Doesn't have a shot.
Could Steph Curry bring the ball up and initiate the offense just as good as Draymond can? And reversely, can Draymond get open and hit threes like Steph Curry can?
No, listen, pay attention. He's asking me. Listen, Twin Man, I got this. Listen.
He's a ball handler by default.
Stephen Curry is not as effective as with his team if he is the ball facilitator, meaning dribbling up the court and passing it to someone else. Stephen Curry's main effect on his team is being the scorer, which means he has to shoot. So that means
Draymond cannot do that.
Okay, listen, which means someone has to get him the ball because no NBA team draws up a play for a player to dribble 90 feet to shoot.
So let me just break this down. Let me break this down.
This is what I just said. No NBA player, no NBA team has a play that says you go 90 feet and shoot the ball. That's
what
not
is
NBA
special
play.
about what
Go ahead,
Draymond does
Brandon.
in the scenario you
All right.
just made?
So you're talking about Steph Curry could do the same thing, bring it up and initiate it. So when the Lakers took Draymond Green out of the series last year and they made Steph Curry a point guard, Steph Curry numbers went down. Klay Thompson couldn't get off a shot because he couldn't get Klay Thompson the ball in the appropriate spots. And when he did, it was a turnover. That's how valuable Draymond Green is to that team. He initiates the offense and he's the playmaker, and that's why they have been successful for all these years. When you take Draymond Green out of the game, he's not able to bring the ball up because no one's guarding him. Steph Curry has to take on that responsibility, and we've seen how effective Steph Curry was playing strictly a point guard, and it was not effective. Steph Curry is a scorer. He's a shooting guard. He's not someone to initiate the offense, and he's not that great of a playmaker because he's used to only shooting the ball or running off screens and getting plays made for him. That's why Draymond Green is so vital for that team. That's why he's the playmaker on that squad.
Okay.
I'm mad right now, B-Lee.
Breaking down
I'm mad right now, B-Lee, because I was literally going to use that example of the playoffs last year against. I'm mad right now because you beat me to it. You really beat me to it. I was going to say we saw what happened when Steph Curry initiated the offense. They got swept. He can't do it. That is not his role. His role is to be the primary scorer. He's running around. Draymond's at the top of the key, controlling the ball to get him to get him and Klay and Jordan Poole in the right position to shoot shots.
So are you telling me the dude that's averaging the more assists is the best playmaker?
What happened?
Are you saying that the dude that's averaging the more assists is the best playmaker on the team?
That would be the playmaker of the team. Usually how it works. Yes, he averages the most assists. Yeah.
So Chris Paul, man.
All right, so as long as he averages the more assists on the team.
Usually the playmaker has the most assists on the team. That's why Jokic has the most assists usually for his team. He's initiating. I'm not saying he's initiating the offense. It's that he's able from the post and from the wing to get players in the right position because they have, like you said, that gravitas. They have to account for Jokic because Jokic can shoot.
So you're telling me that the Warriors would take Draymond Green over Steph Curry?
Why would they do that?
No.
Why would they do that?
Oh my God!
Who brings the more valuable skill set? Who does more?
No one says the point guard or the playmaker is the best player on the team.
Your argument is that essentially the Warriors can't operate functionally as good without Draymond compared to without Curry. Without Curry, they'd be even worse. And I just looked up their all-time records with or without.
They need both.
They have a winning record without Draymond and a losing record without Curry.
They need what we're saying is that Stephen Curry needs a facilitator like Draymond Green to be effective. That's what we said.
Yes, because in 2016 they blamed Draymond not being there.
What's easier to do? Steph Curry's three-point shooting or Draymond's passing? What's easier to do for the average NBA player?
Someone's background noise is hell.
Ernest, mute yourself, please.
I can't believe this dude don't know what playmaking is.
No, they don't know, Ernest. They don't know what playmaking is.
A subjective definition of it, and you're like, "Oh, we're
yes,
right."
I told you the definition. I told you the definition. Go Google it. I just told you the definition.
Green makes passes to Curry. That's why he's a better playmaker.
Yes, because he's creating the play. He makes the play. He's
creating the play. Well, MB Sports.
He didn't create the play. He didn't create it.
Ain't creating nothing.
It's not subjective to it.
It's the person that is getting the play.
All right, guys. You did say Reggie Miller is the playmaker, is the better playmaker on his team, and Reggie Miller is not a playmaker at all. Reggie Miller's a spot-up shooter.
That's by your definition. Do you understand? You're just going off your definition.
The real definition. You don't have a definition.
Nobody would draw up a play for Reggie Miller if he wasn't a playmaker.
Okay.
You can't get Reggie Miller the ball. He's not a playmaker.
Draymond Green can't make his own shot without anyone else.
Draymond Green has always been the playmaker for the Warriors.
Okay.
This is not rocket science. You the only person that don't know that.
No, it's not. I don't. Just because four people say it, and I say it the other way.
No, the Warriors even say Draymond Green.
Let me ask you a question. Reggie Miller cannot.
Oh, they don't, bro.
Reggie Miller
maybe so he won't knock them out if he gets upset.
Listen, Reggie Miller
do you
can't
watch
dribble.
games?
How does he get a shot?
No.
Reggie Miller can't dribble. How does he get a shot?
I watch games, bro.
Listen,
I watch
you
everyone
don't.
pay attention to Steph Curry.
NMB.
You clearly
NMB. Reggie Miller cannot dribble. How does he get a shot off?
Draymond cannot score or pass unless
Answer
someone
my
is good
question.
enough to get open.
Score.
Answer my question. Reggie Miller cannot dribble. How does
clearly
he get
don't
a
watch the
shot
games.
off?
Huh? You're talking over.
Reggie Miller cannot dribble. How does he get a shot off?
By going off screens.
How does he get the ball?
From one of his teammates. That's not the own you think it is.
That's
not the own you think it
Right,
is.
hold on. NMB, let me say this real quick. NMB, let me say this real quick. Let me say this real
A
quick.
guy made a pass. Boom. Argument over.
I would say that. I would say that Draymond. I would say that Draymond Green is the better passer. I would say that he's the better passer on this team. I wouldn't say like when you go search up playmaking, bro. I just looked at the definition. It stands for what we stand for. It simply means a player who leads the offense for a team. That's what playmaking means. Like you go look at the definition right now.
Draymond.
That's simply he doesn't lead the offense.
Draymond's
not leading no offense.
They clearly don't watch.
Can you say what the definition say?
Check it out, George. Listen.
It says that. Okay. It says exactly that.
All right, guys.
There is no
Travis.
offense to create if Steph Curry is not hitting threes. Do you understand? You take
Okay,
Curry off the floor.
Travis, go ahead and explain. Go ahead and say what you got to say about what.
Go search it up right now. Whoever wants to.
I'm gonna untangle your tangled web here, boys. But everyone's right to a degree. NMB, I would so badly want to have your back, especially in the Jordan debate. You were a lot of good points. You just needed to phrase it a little bit better, which I have on the show many times. Anyway, with the playmaking thing here, everyone makes plays, but yes, in this case, specifically Draymond Green would be not the guy in the traditional sense where he's a scorer, the defense will pay more attention, but he's the better passer, he's their IQ guy, he's the guy who's going to generally initiate the offense. That's absolutely not subtracting anything from Curry, because also Curry makes plays when he gets the ball. He's not just shooting it automatically. You can tell by his assists here. Chris Paul's there too. But yeah, Draymond's generally the guy who, like the panel was saying, gets them in position, has the plays down with pat, just like Scotty was for the majority of that. Like, again, that's not – Jordan was a great off the ball. He was also making plays too. He has better than average assists. Just like how Magic was, very much so the Lakers. Was he their primary scoring option for the majority of his career? No. But again, he was adept at that, but he was also the guy who got everyone, like Johnny was saying, into position. He made the right reads. He canceled, made play calls on the fly, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't mean that he's not, that other people weren't capable of making the plays, or the defense, like you said, didn't have to pay attention to them. Like, they're probably going to pay more attention to James Worthy, again, from 84 to like 89, because he was a much more lethal scorer than Magic. They're going to pay attention to Kareem more often than Magic from 80 to like 85, because Magic's not going to drop 35 points on a whim until he hit his MVP years. But again, Magic's the guy who's just making the plays or setting up their offense, which was so lethal. Doesn't mean he was the best player or the best scorer. But again, that's what they're trying to say. There's not an own, like you said, there's not an own on any one player. And then I said there is such a thing as gravity. But again, as far as the people who are trusted to just initiate, again, that's what they're talking about.
Brandon, would we consider assists part of playmaking, like we said earlier?
And you can make plays, but not be the primary playmaker on that team.
But would we, like we said earlier, assists, would they matter?
Listen, guys, stop it.
Okay,
just
well,
stop it. I'm tired
Curry's
of
got
you
more
guys.
assists and a higher assist percentage.
No, he doesn't. Stop it. Listen.
What?
I'm
looking at it right now. Assists per game.
Pay attention. Pay attention. If we look at it here,
stats matter.
Again, point guards are expected to run the team's offense by controlling the ball and making sure that it gets to the right player at the right time. Playmaking is a point guard role. Your job is to set up the offense. This is Wikipedia. If we scroll down, if we go to hoops, students.com, point guard is initiator and is considered a playmaker. If we go to John Hollinger, the guy who created PER, point guards is considered a playmaker. Everything that we look up in basketball that defines a playmaker is going to be around a ball facilitator and a dribbler. That is what makes you an actual playmaker, not shooting. Everybody can shoot. So all I got to do is get you the ball in the right spot, and you can make the shot. That's it. If I get you the ball 3 feet from the rim, you're going to make a layup. If you can shoot and I get you the ball and you can in a shooting spot, you're going to make the shot. That's why it's called an assist. I assisted you in making that basket. So playmaking is that. We're not going to argue actual basketball terms because you don't know basketball terms.
Right.
These are actual basketball terms. They existed before you were born. You can't change it because you started watching basketball during ESPN era.
Yeah, this is basic stuff. This is
basic. This is basketball.
This shouldn't even be a question. This shouldn't even be a question about playmaking.
I don't even think we should be having this argument because this is the basis. This is how you.
I don't understand how Curry has more assists than.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Assists per game?
My God, let me do this up again. Here we go. Because these Jordan fans, and you don't even talk stats.
Curry gets one more assist per game than Draymond for his career.
That's for the career. We're not talking about for the career. Let's go between 2015 to today. Go to 2015 to today. Who averaged more assists?
Curry averages more assists for his career.
The crazy part is this is the crazy part. Steve Kerr says Draymond Green is the playmaker for their team. Stephen Curry considers Draymond Green the playmaker and the facilitator of the offense for that team. But because NMB says that is not the case, all of them are lying.
I don't give a shit what other people say. It doesn't matter.
Don't stop.
You don't care what the team
All right, here we go.
Why would I care?
Oh, wait. Between 2015, when the Warriors were the elite team and they started winning, and till today, Draymond Green averages 6.7 assists per game. Stephen Curry averages 6.3. So by your metrics, Draymond Green is better. But for the years that they were winning,
0.4 more.
It's more.
0.4 more.
It's more. It's
being a facilitator, he only gets 0.4 more.
Wait. Draymond
I'm not
Green
impressed, bro. I'm not convinced.
Draymond Green averages 5.6 for his career, and Curry averages what? 6.2 is the same thing. Like 6 points, 0.6, something like that.
6.5.
6.5. Okay, so it's but 0.7 difference. Is that less than one?
So Draymond initiates the offense, and yet Curry gets more assists. Okay.
No, not for their career. Remember, Draymond didn't play with him this whole career. Go look it up for when they play with one another. Go look at how long they play with one another and who averages the most assists then. Even at that, Draymond Green averages the same amount of assists as Stephen Curry, and you don't consider Draymond Green a playmaker of any kind. But all of a sudden, Stephen Curry's assist makes him a playmaker to you.
I'll take the guy averaging 30 and the same amount of assist as a playmaker than the guy who averages 8 points.
That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about who can create your offense more, Draymond Green or Stephen Curry. And Draymond Green does it better than
Draymond does is not revolutionary. Like, it's not because of something unique he's doing. He's a point guard by default.
Hold on.
He's going to make passes to Curry and
Draymond literally got them. Draymond's, I guess, non-effective bullshit actually helped them win 4 NBA championships. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, all right.
Who was the playmaker?
I thought it was a team. Now it's Draymond's championship.
Wait. Somebody in the chat just brought up a great thing. And the chat was brought up by Mike W. He just said here, Stephen Curry shoots 47% from three-point land with Draymond Green on the floor. When Draymond Green is not on the floor, it drops to 32%, showing you how much of an effect Draymond Green does when it comes to getting Stephen Curry the ball in the right spot at the right time. That's the point.
What's everybody's percentages and stuff when Curry is out? Let's compare. Let's have a 1-for-1 comparison.
Again, we just did that. We just showed you against Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson percentages doesn't go up. Jordan Poole's numbers don't go up. None of those guys' numbers go up when Stephen Curry is the main facilitator for that team. That's why they
have a losing
That's why
record
they trade
without Curry.
Again,
they are the exact same without Draymond.
The Warriors don't play nothing without Draymond. That's why they signed him to a 4-year extension. That's why they kept him on the team.
They have a winning record without Draymond.
That is not
barely,
true.
But they have a winning record.
Again,
you notice
you're misleading the stat. You're saying they have a better record without Draymond Green and have a better record with Stephen Curry, but Stephen Curry's record includes Draymond Green on it.
No, without Curry, right? Without Curry, they have a losing record. Without Draymond, they're essentially 500, a little over 500.
And what does that have to do with playmaking?
You're saying that Draymond is so integral. He's such a playmaker, right? But yet when he's off the floor, it's not as much of a detriment as when Curry's off the floor.
It's literally like talking to a wall with you.
I never said Draymond Green's playmaking.
No one never said that.
Winners. Nobody said that's the best.
No one said Draymond Green's a better player than Steph. No one said what No one says this. Why are you making up stuff?
Because he's
We're
changing
just saying that
definitions.
Draymond Green is
You're
the
trying to make a
playmaker on the
comparison
team.
that
That's all we're
with or
saying.
without Draymond, what happens to the offense? Well, with or without Curry, what happens? If we're going to bring up playmaking, right? It shows that one is more important than the other. Many more players can do what Draymond does than what Curry does. That's really where the rubber hits the road.
That's false.
Draymond is not as good. Draymond is not as good if he doesn't have Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, two of the best three-point shooting guards of all time. If he does not have them,
and they are not as
it's
good
not as if he goes to another team. He's going to be like throwing passes behind the back.
Draymond missed most of the season.
The next question: Does Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson shoot better than anybody else as far as field goal percentage wise, 3-point shooting? I mean,
I said some of the best. Is that what I said?
I mean,
is that what I said? Is that what I said?
Yes, that's what you said.
I said two of the best shooting guards of all time.
Listen to what you just said. I can give him Kyle Korver, and Draymond's going to be just as effective. I can give him any shooters. He's going to be effective. You give him any shooters. Anybody who can shoot the ball is going to be effective because Draymond Green will get them the ball at the right spot.
I haven't seen it, I guess. Without them, he's
not. You have seen it because the Warriors have been great for 10 years.
Without them, he's not as good.
Listen, without him, they don't win anything. They don't win anything without Draymond Green. Nothing. No championships.
They haven't won nothing.
I mean,
Stephen Curry gets blown
that's
out.
the excuse for not winning in 16 because Draymond got suspended.
Yeah,
that was the excuse.
Exactly.
So it wasn't because LeBron. It wasn't because LeBron won. It was because Draymond was out.
No, you guys don't give LeBron credit.
Draymond,
that's one of the greatest rings of all time.
Game 5.
Draymond's very much like that.
We're talking about you guys saying Draymond Green is why they lost because he didn't play one game, and now you're saying he has no effect in winning. So that's how you get back talk. That's how you get exposed by the GOAT James Kingdom panel because you don't know how to talk basketball.
There is no playmaking.
You know how to hate. You know how to hate on basketball, though.
Yeah, and you know what's the funny thing is that you spent months and probably years sitting down with other Jordan fans, patting each other on the back about lies, and you come here and get exposed. It's great.
I haven't done anything of the sort. I'm a Mavericks fan. I don't really even give a fuck about Jordan. I just think
I know you don't give it. I know. And you give a fuck about LeBron.
Why you
give a fuck about LeBron? No, he cares about LeBron because he likes LeBron because LeBron is his real issue. He don't know how to appreciate LeBron. It hurts him.
LeBron's a great player. See, he has to appreciate LeBron. Like, because I have to pick one, I must mean I hate the other. That's not how it is.
No, you hate because you have not brought up one thing that.
When have I hated on LeBron specifically and said he's not a great player?
What makes LeBron great?
Please find where I said LeBron's not a great player.
You said he couldn't dribble.
I would love to see any clip of that.
You said he couldn't dribble. You said he couldn't dribble.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
You said he couldn't shoot. You said he wasn't a good shooter.
I said he's as good a shooter as Jordan from three. That was my argument.
You co-signed Sports Fitness and Rant, who said Jordan.
Oh, so now what other people say is on.
You co-signed it. Yeah, you co-signed it.
I didn't co-sign it. I never said the dribble thing.
This is why Dart is
Go
the
find
best
it and clip it out. Go find it and clip it out.
Oh, you're going to have all kind of clips about you, my friend. We're going to tag you all week long.
Give me some subs to my channel, bro.
I will. We don't hate on nobody.
This is the craziest conversation I have ever had. Travis, you tried your best, bro.
You're saying I said things I never said.
Bro.
Like, you got to
You tried your best, bro. You tried to help it, bro. It's just not. It just didn't work out,
and
bro.
mind you, your
I don't really care. Like, you guys' opinions on me shit to me.
It's not opinions. We're giving you facts.
Got Travis on here, the most objective person on here. Still can't handle this conversation.
We're giving you facts. Real
so
debate.
This is what I've gathered. I've gathered from NMB that the primary offensive threat on the team is the playmaker. Is that what I'm getting from you?
Even though he don't make his own play.
I think it is a misrepresentation to say Draymond is a playmaker when he wouldn't be a playmaker without the guys who actually make the plays, who actually finish it and put it in the hole.
But it's too bad. It doesn't matter.
All you got to do is watch the games and know what you're looking at.
I watch the games, man.
No, you
Draymond is not blowing me away with his passing.
The games, bro.
So he's not shaking anyone down, getting to the hole and kicking it out or something on a regular basis to make the offense flow. He brings it up. Curry runs off a pick and he gives him the ball. Like,
so why does Stephen they run in plays?
So why does Stephen? So why
is Stephen calling the plays? He just runs.
So why did Stephen Curry pass him the ball last night?
Oh my God, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I want to know this. If Stephen Curry's the playmaker, why did he pass the ball to Draymond Green in the corner for a brick last night?
Wait, so Draymond bricked it?
I'm asking you because
did he brick it though? I didn't see that. I don't follow the Warriors.
Why is he allowing Draymond to play make? If you're saying the playmaker is the guy who shoots the ball at the end, why is he giving the ball to the guy?
And he bricked it, so he's not the playmaker. That's my point.
No, but that's what we're trying to explain to you. The playmaker was Stephen Curry. He created the shot for Draymond Green. Draymond Green doesn't have that shot if Stephen Curry doesn't get it to him. That's the playmaker on that play.
You're acting as if Draymond's creating shots for Curry. That's not what's happening.
He is creating
shots. Curry's running off picks and he's giving him the ball. That's not playmaking.
The pick player is creating the open.
Man, this man ain't never played. He lied. I think he
I
lied.
played basketball just as long as any of y'all, man.
No,
nobody agrees with you. Nobody agrees with you.
Wait a minute, y'all.
Nobody agrees with you.
He is a point guard that never ball facilitated. He was just on the basketball court for nothing because he didn't do nothing.
I do not think simply doing an entry pass or hitting a guy coming off a pick, that does not make you a playmaker.
And you said Reggie Miller's a playmaker.
Let me tell you one thing. He had a bad coach.
Well, you got the opinion. You only got the different opinion from everybody else that know about basketball.
He's not a playmaker. I need him to tell Mark Price he's not a playmaker. I need him to tell Mark Jackson he's not a playmaker. Like, you are crazy. John Stockton is the ultimate
Mark Jackson
playmaker.
and Draymond Green are not even in the same
LeBron does for
category when it
teams
comes
is
to
what
playmaking.
Draymond does for the Warriors.
NB. What I'll say, man, is that
Draymond distributes to two shooters. I'm not impressed. Like,
you ain't got to be impressed, but it's basic basketball.
Let me look up the Draymond Green passing.
If somebody else could do it at an elite level, they wouldn't have extended Draymond years ago for $80 million. If everybody could do what Draymond did, and it was so many Draymonds, they wouldn't have extended him.
They did not re-sign him for
$80 million when everybody said he didn't deserve it, bro. You got to learn basketball.
Why did they resign him?
They didn't re-sign him for passing.
They signed Draymond Green because he's an integral cog of the offense.
NB, what I'll say is that
playmaking and what you guys are arguing.
NB, I agree. I agree with you.
We trying to tell you. You arguing. We trying to tell you.
NB.
I agree with you.
I've been coaching AAU ball for 10 years. 10 years. Coaching 8th graders and 9th graders. I cannot believe that you're saying the things that you've been saying for the past 3 hours. This is ridiculous what you're gonna say.
Okay, so I'll tell the 9th grader, like, hey, all you got to do is just get here, wait for this guy to come off a pick, and you'll give him the ball. You're the playmaker,
yes,
baby.
because you
It's
that simple.
Yes.
I want my
fundamental
basketball
to get a wide open
shot from my playmaker. Yes.
What is he creating? He's not creating anything.
Guys, wait. NMB, let me ask you this, NMB. You're on the basketball court. You are running your behind off to get open. You get around the screen and you get wide open, and the person who passes you the ball throws it over your head. What do you say?
He's a bad passer.
So that means passing is important.
Is he doing it all the time?
Wait. No.
One time?
No.
Again, bro. Like,
Draymond's never made a bad pass?
No, again,
Draymond's never made a bad pass.
No, you're saying that passing doesn't matter.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you are. Because wait.
I do not think simply making a pass to a guy coming off the screen is playmaking.
Listen, NMB, you're saying somebody who makes the right pass didn't create the play. When I'm telling you, if you don't
by that standard, we're all playmakers.
No, it's not. Because we all can't pass.
We're all playmakers.
No,
I made
we all can't pass. Like Michael Jordan.
I'm a playmaker.
Like Michael Jordan can't pass because he'll end up having more turnovers than he'll have an assist. That's the problem. There are players who can pass better than they can do anything else. John Stockton has an over 3-to-1 ratio. Chris Paul has an over 3-to-1 ratio when it comes to assist to turnover. So that means every time they get in a turnover, they get you 3 buckets at least. Right. That's the point. So for every 1 bad pass they make 3-4 good passes. That's called elite. That's a skill. That's what makes you great. That's why there's a such thing as a point guard.
Giving the ball to Steph Curry is not a skill.
That's like saying
it's not a skill.
Yes,
it's not a skill.
Wait. That's like saying any quarterback.
Hey guys, let me dump it into Shaq. I'm a playmaker.
No, listen. That's like saying
everybody don't have basketball IQ.
Listen. That's like saying a quarterback. Any quarterback.
Maybe you guys think too highly of your abilities. And you want to make it sound. I'm a little more humble.
Listen,
I'm a little more humble.
It's like saying any quarterback can make a 10-out route, could throw that. Anyone could do that. No, not any quarterback can throw a 10-out route. Not any quarterback can hit somebody on a flare. Not anybody can just hit somebody going down on the go route. You have to be able to know how to pass.
You need to prove to me that the difficulty level of Draymond's passes is just so much more than what the average person can make.
It's difficult to
if
make
you
an
can
assist no matter
that to me,
what.
Then I might pay attention.
Oh, wait, I'm going to demonstrate it to you because Isaiah Thomas stated that when you make a pass for a person to make a play, you must give them the ball at the right spot, the right time, the right moment. So an assist is a difficult pass no matter what because I got you the ball at the right time, the right moment, at the right spot. Again, Curry is not the ball facilitator for his team. He's a part of it.
He still gets more assists.
No, he doesn't.
He pass the ball more. Sometimes he got to give it up. That's the reason why, bro. It ain't like he's out there playmaking. He has to pass the ball up, and sometimes it turns into an assist.
We seen what
but
Curry
Draymond is out there to get boards, set picks, play elite defense, and to put that ball right on the spot, on the money, coming off a pick, whatever the case may be. That is his job, bro. And for you to think that anybody can do that, now what he does, like what he does, there's not a lot of flair to it. He's not out there like John Stockton or like Steve Nash or Mike Bibby throwing behind the backs and all that. But Draymond is a great playmaker, bro. He's a great playmaker. He is.
So check this out.
Hold on. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm gonna leave this last stat. I'm gonna leave this last exposure. Since Draymond Green has been on the Golden State Warriors, he leads them in assists. I'm leaving that alone. I'm done. You guys have a great Sunday afternoon. I got to go take care of something. You guys can keep enjoying this. The exposer has done his exposure. Shout out. First of all, I'm going to shout out to Travis, John, Twin Man, D-Rock down at the bottom. Shout out to Devontae. Shout out to Ernest. Put yourself on mute. And Real Debates, I appreciate you, brother. I see you're a LeBron fan. Shout out to you guys. Hey, NMB, you are literally on the wall of exposure right next to Young Miami. So you are the listen.
I can't wait for the shorts.
We don't hate on you, but you have given us more than enough material. You will be tagged. I'm gonna step out, Brandon. You can take over the show. I've done enough. I've done enough exposure today. Y'all boys enjoy.
I can't wait for the shorts.
So
I can't wait for the shorts.
Here's the thing, man. I agree with you that like there's more to playmaking than just making fancy passes. But here's what I'll say, and just a little more stuff, and then I get a dip too. I love all you guys, but Draymond, I would say just whenever you got some free time. And I know Kevin Durant was on the team, and no, it doesn't take skill to just be like, here you go, run it. Draymond Green, though, man, during the three-peat, and especially like the last 4 years, if you watch the games, dude is not only integral defensively, but he has some of the best court vision, again, than you've ever, especially modern day. He's not, you're right, he's not making like Jason Williams passes or anything, but he is so adept at getting the ball, again, the right plays. Like he'll like make great passes. Like some of them are flashy, but like he has a really, really high court IQ. He's not the best passer in the league. No one's saying that, and no one's saying he's more important than Curry. But bro, like he is a phenomenal passer. I would say during their run, probably top 15 passer all time, dude. Like during those 3 year stretch, he's vastly underrated when it comes to passing. And like I said, he's like, I agree with your point that it's not the most important thing, but bro, to call him not a great playmaker is just being disingenuous.
Draymond's role is so important.
You guys are acting that because of Draymond that the offense runs. I don't agree with that. He doesn't do anything.
That's what we're telling
passing or doing anything with creating. Like the offense is so focused on him, they have to play him so tight. He's able to get the ball.
That's not what we're saying.
He's playing within an offense of two of the best shooters of all.
We're not saying he's focused on him, bro. We're saying
Draymond knows how to get on the court.
I also don't know how he's the best Warriors in the best because they both played on the Warriors their entire
not what we're
career.
saying.
And Steph Curry averages more
through
assists.
Stephen Curry. It flows through Klay Thompson.
You see Draymond do a
point guard. It flows through the guards. We're sitting here saying the initiator of the offense is Draymond Green. Without his court vision, without his passing, they are not nearly as great as they are. Draymond Green turned himself into a first ballot Hall of Famer with his court vision. His triple single that you're sitting here trying to shit on is going to make him a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Bro. Draymond's not going to be remembered for court vision.
Yes, he is.
He'll be known as an antagonizer, a good defender.
I'm not
taking that initiating one of the greatest offenses ever.
And why was it great?
He's watching ESPN and listening to narratives because he ain't watching basketball. Everybody couldn't do. You couldn't put anybody in Draymond Green's spot. You couldn't put anybody else in Draymond Green's spot.
I'll go look up Draymond's passing highlight reel and I'll see what I see. Right.
This shit is incredibly crazy. Highlight reels. They're telling you they're not watching basketball.
That's what they do. First of all, it's a joke. I watch basketball. He's not creating anything for Steph Curry.
At the end of the day, we can go back and forth all day about who's more important than this, and that. One thing we do know, neither one of them ever won a title without each other.
Exactly.
We do know
that's
that.
a moot point.
Yeah, we also know that James Worthy's the
No,
GOAT.
it's not. It's a point that need to be made because really, in all actuality, you're going around in circles.
I never said that they would have won without Draymond.
I didn't say that, but I'm at the end of the day.
Implying I said that.
At the end of it, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, whatever point you're trying to make is going to go back around in a circle because they're teammates. And at the end of the day, he is very vital to the team with his playmaking, switchability, versatility on defense, being able to know the offense. He run it kind of like Nikola Jokic. And then, Curry, he has his positives where he's coming off the pick. He study moving and opening up the floor. He's a threat soon as he get past half court. He got elite playmaking, elite shooting. Everything Draymond don't bring to the table, Curry brings to the table. Everything Curry don't bring to the table, Draymond brings to the table. And then you have all these dudes in between that fills in everything else. And that is the Golden State Warriors.
The argument was not that Draymond doesn't make plays. You guys said he is the playmaker for the Warriors. I don't agree with that.
Main playmaker. Main initiator. Let's say that.
And we're not saying that Clay don't make plays. He's just not the main playmaker.
Without those two guys, there's no plays to make the way Draymond
Agreed. It's a team sport, man. And you're not wrong, but it's just come on. You got to be. It's a 5-man.
Back to my comparison, right? Would you rather have Curry or Draymond Green on your offense?
I'm not doing that because they never won.
Completely disingenuous.
Make more plays for you.
Here's the thing, though. You could not replace Draymond Green with all but 3 or 4 players in the league, especially in his prime.
I'm sorry, Travis. I don't even know what 3 or 4 players you could replace Draymond Green with in that system.
You can't replace him with nobody.
Draymond does a lot of dirty work, and he's very swift on his feet. And there's not a lot of players you're going to be able to put in that spot that's going to be able to play the defense he plays on the perimeter and on the interior and rebound the way he does and initiates the offense. There's a reason why Draymond initiates the offense. So Curry doesn't have to because that's not his strong suit.
If we want to look at stats, and if you're going to count value over replacement, it's in the fucking garbage.
Because you have the 2 wings, those 2 wings in Clay and Curry on those wings, so he can hit them off the screens for shots. That's his primary focus, is initiating the offense. I don't really think you can give me a player that can replace Draymond.
Hey,
if you wanted me to deep dive, I could. But if we're just going to look at value over replacement, Draymond Green's value over replacement is absolute garbage.
Hey, NMB, I will say this: everybody can set a pick, but everybody don't know where to be on the floor at the right time. Playing with 2. Listen, your responsibility is at an all-time high level when you're playing with 2 of the greatest shooters ever. You hear me? So when Curry passed half,
I hear you.
Whether he got the ball or not, if you don't have that ball and Draymond do, they running that pick and roll, they running the high screen, double screens, all of that stuff they're doing. Draymond is in the mix. I don't give a damn I don't care if they lose a game or win a game, and Draymond don't take not one damn shot. Draymond is pivotal in every fucking game he plays, bro. Because
that's not the argument.
Listen.
Hold on, I want to say something after.
The space created by Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, everybody don't have the court vision and the knowledge of that system to know what to do when the space is created to do something with the ball. You can find a mid-range shooter, but you can't find a mid-range shooter that can, occupy that space and know what to do with the ball like Draymond. You can find a lot of guys to occupy that position, but can they utilize the way Draymond Green does? No, they can't.
Ralph, before you say anything, I just want to say I gotta bounce. Quick shout out to it'll be Twin Man. Great facts as usual. Real debates. I love your style. Way to drop some facts today. Hope to see you the show again, man. For sure.
Salute, T.
Now,
Perfect.
I do want to touch up on this playmaking. I mean, I'm not going to say Draymond is a great playmaker. He does playmake, but like to initiate the offense, he's a great passer by finding the reads into those movement of the offense. But playmaking is to actually initiate the offense, like
through scoring or passing.
Through scoring.
Yeah.
And passing is not the end all be all.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
what Draymond really does that. But when we're talking about the point of attack of the offense, that's when Steph Curry comes into play.
Right.
You know.
And then we're not talking about that. Because see, we're talking now, Ralph, you're talking about the primary offensive threat. That's what Steph is. Steph is the primary offensive threat. We're talking about the fact that if Steph has the ball, you're taking away his ability to be that offensive threat because now he can draw a bunch of double teams. You start double teaming Steph Curry like the Lakers did last year. What happened to his numbers? In the toilet. You give Draymond Green the ball.
Him?
Yes.
Wow.
But playmaking
seems like he would be the main playmaker they're trying to corral.
Playmaker is the player.
There's no playmaker.
Curry
is not
playmaker.
Has the gravitas that he does. That's the whole point. Like you're acting as if Draymond
if I
is
give it to a
unique in his
Draymond
playmaking.
Green,
He's not.
If I give it to a Draymond Green who's not worried about shooting because Draymond Green is going to sacrifice him getting buckets to get Steph Curry buckets. He's setting screens. He's getting him in the right position so he can put up that shot that's going to go in 42% of the time.
He's a good passer.
Draymond passing up threes is not an attribute.
In his IQ,
passing up threes is not an attribute for a guy who shoots 32%.
He's the coach of the defense too. Don't forget that.
Because a player is a player that
on defense he's much more integral. I'll give you that.
Right, defense is just
integral on every part and aspect of the game.
Bro, playmaking, we just talked about offense for 30 minutes.
But Curry don't play.
We were arguing.
We know that. Draymond and all those guys hide him, and they have a system to hide him, to protect him with his deficiencies in defense. Draymond is a part of that, bro. So just like Draymond don't shoot shots or he don't make them, and Curry make it up in scoring, guess what? Draymond makes up everything Curry can do, which is defense, versatility on defense, rebound. So it evens out. It evens out. They got
playmaking. So now playmaking is rebounds.
But playmaking is on the offensive end.
Stick to the offense, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, playmaking is on the offensive end.
We can keep it directly on the offensive end. Would you want Jordan, like if you put, because we don't have illegal defensive rules in this era, like Jordan had. So if you put Jordan in this era, Jordan would kill. Because you have to Jordan would have a lot more trouble.
No, you said it right.
A lot more double teams.
You said it right.
Jordan would run into a lot more double teams.
You said it. You said it right the first time.
Ran into a lot more double teams.
Jordan be looking like
That's
Kobe.
The point.
He be looking like
also,
Kobe. That's who he be looking like.
Efficient.
A second ago, you guys said Curry. One of you said it a second ago. Initiating the offense. You said it in a way as if they are like the offense is initiated around Steph Curry. A guy just bringing the ball up and then the offense goes. That's not initiating offense. The offense is initiated by Steph Curry moving around off the ball and getting open. It's not initiated because Draymond just brought the ball up, right? That's just I just think that's a layman's term of thinking about it. Like, well, the guy who brought the ball up is a playmaker. You just said that the offense is initiated around Steph Curry. They double team Steph Curry.
Curry's going to bring the ball up. Clay's going to bring the ball up. Everybody's going to bring the ball up. And you know who they're going to give the ball to at the top of the key? Draymond Green. Because their role is to score. Clay needs to score. Steph needs to score. So who are you going to give the ball to?
Who is the offense initiated around?
The offense is initiated around Steph Curry. Who's initiating the offense?
Even using your own.
Who's initiating the offense?
Even using your own definition.
The offense is centered around Steph Curry, who's initiating that offense.
There's a difference between the guy who brings it up and simply because he crosses half court, that's the trigger for initiating offense, versus the guy who actually is initiating the offense because of what he does and brings.
He's 100% twin man.
He's not wrong. I didn't sit here and say he was wrong. My thing is once you sit here and you get half court and they're running that set play, is Steph Curry having the ball in his hand in that moment, or is Draymond Green having the ball in his hand in that moment?
You're kind of punishing him because he's so good at shooting. They decide to bring him off the ball. That's not.
But
that
if
shouldn't
they
be
give him the ball, he's going to get double
teamed. Just because you bring up the ball doesn't mean you're going to play.
Than Draymond Green.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that.
Listen to what you just said. you have to initiate the offense and get him off the ball. Him and Clay, you need space to shoot.
Exactly.
But it's still initiating around Curry.
But
if he wasn't so
Curry's
good at shooting,
creating
they
that
wouldn't use
space to
him.
shoot,
Like,
though.
But sometimes
Curry's creating the play. He's creating
for
it,
guys
though.
who just do
yeah,
basic
not all the time.
basketball
Sometimes
things.
he have to come off a pick, just like Clay do, with space, and then he can hit a shot. He don't create all the time. Kevin Love clamped
Yeah,
his
he
ass
does.
up, bro. He's not on that
Even
level.
when
Even
when Steph Curry's coming off of picks or anything, he gets the ball. It's not necessarily he's going to shoot. He also makes as well because he actually has the dribble.
We're not. I don't think
ball
no one's
handler,
saying that Steph don't play make. We're just saying who's the main playmaker on the Golden State is
Right.
Draymond Green.
Technically, everyone makes plays at some point during the game.
He's not.
I'd
He's
say Draymond. He's the facilitator. He's a facilitator, but he's not the playmaker.
Okay, Ralph. So, say for instance, Penny and Shaq. Who was the playmaker on that team?
Again, this
would
is
you
like
say Shaq because he averaged the most points?
That's a tough one because Penny actually can create his offense as well. That's a
Penny
tough
the playmaker. Easy work.
I would probably say I would say that for the fact that Penny also could create his own offense. Right. So I would say Penny. See the difference between Penny. Hold on, let me finish. The difference between Penny and Draymond. Draymond doesn't create his offense. He's a facilitator.
But he's not there to look to create offense.
This is kind of like the John Stockton, Karl Malone thing. Like, who's the playmaker on the Jazz, right? If you want to go by just like the default definition, I suppose Stockton. But again, Karl Malone was such an intricate part. It's very close, right? Not the same when we're talking about Draymond and Curry.
It's not close. Oh, okay, Ralph. Who is the playmaker on the Jazz? Was it Stockton or Malone?
The fact you hesitate tells me everything. The fact you hesitate proves my point.
Because he's trying to make it seem like the person who facilitated.
Don't tell me what it's trying. No, I'm actually thinking about it.
The fact he hesitated proves my point.
No, it is close. And like when we go off, because playmaking is a player in a team game who leads attack or brings other players on the same side of the position of which they could score. So I mean, it's like that is difficult right there. I have to really.
You guys are relating scoring to being the playmaker. I think
that is a playmaker.
I think that's the thing. You're trying to say who's the main scorer as who's the playmaker on the squad.
No,
I think that's what you guys are.
I literally just read the definition to you. That's what I did.
But this is the thing,
this is the craziest conversation I've ever had in my life.
But
this is literally the craziest conversation I've ever had in my life.
This is the thing about it. If you know basketball,
crazy, bro. It ain't that crazy.
Let's just be simple about it. Let's not think too far outside of the box, right? John Stockton running the pick and roll constantly to get Karl Malone initiated into the offense. He's a great playmaker with or without Karl. Karl needs a great playmaker. Yeah.
No, I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah, he do.
He needed Karl Malone for that.
No, can throw an entry.
Bro, this is why I disagree with real debates. I disagree with real debates because Karl Malone could create his own shot. Karl Malone could absolutely create his own shot. If he got
I would
the ball,
say that John Stockton would be more successful if you was to take those dudes and put them on a fully loaded team. I'm betting on Stockton team over Malone all
Didn't you just say setting
picks? I say Stockton.
Who's setting picks for Stockton?
As Malone.
That was Malone.
I mean, you can't say one without the other. It's like Jordan and Pippen.
That's the point.
You can't say. But listen, this is the thing about it, though. I mean, just to be honest, bro. Listen, when you having a conversation about players that's teammates, you gotta always be in the mind frame of not to debate and judge them against each other because they teammates at the end of the day. It's an evaluation, really. So when I look at Stockton and Malone, right, both great players. Either one of their ass got a title. Okay. So, but you look at who can function and still have the greatness without the other guy. Steph Curry is that without Draymond, bro. I'm not trying to agree with MB, But at the end of the day, bro, you got to be honest. If you take Steph Curry and put him on a fully loaded team, I'm going with that over Draymond, bro. Because if you put Draymond on a team and he don't have Steph Curry and he don't have Clay, what you get is a guy that's going to get thrown out the game. Because if he...
Bro, I'm converting people every day. I'm converting people every day.
No. I don't agree with you.
It went from like, you're so ridiculous.
And I already said it. I already said it in my mind, but I said I'm going to kind of wait for the perfect time to come on out here with this statement.
Yeah.
It's not agreeing with you, but I just want to add that kind of like that little bit of context.
This is where we disagree. I feel like if you take Draymond Green's playmaking to another team, he'd be an excellent asset on another team. You have another versatile defender. You have another versatile defender. You have another great rebounder, and you have a person who's somebody who can facilitate an offense. I think Draymond Green will be a great asset on another team. It's just that it works so beautifully in Golden State because of the system they built with those three players. Now, am I going to sit here and fake like if you put Steph Curry on a different team, he ain't going to still be Steph Curry? Absolutely, he's still going to be Steph Curry.
Draymond ain't going to be Draymond, though.
Draymond,
yes, he would.
I disagree.
Yes, he would.
On the offensive end, Draymond will not do that. No.
Yes, he would.
He's perfect for that system the way he is. And if you really look at Draymond, how the way he flows in that offense, it's because of the shooting that they have on that team. You put him on a team that's not even a shooting team like that. No, he's not doing that.
Yeah, you have to put him on like
in the league
he's not doing that.
Every team shoots three.
No, everybody.
Not at the level of Golden State. No, we're not going to.
So give me a team. Give me a team you think Draymond Green would really struggle with.
He's not. Houston. He's not doing that in Houston.
The Cavs.
He's not doing that. He's not even doing that at my Knicks. No, he's not doing that.
I'll give you the Knicks. I'm a Knicks fan, and I'm gonna be real. Yeah, the Knicks ain't really a great three shoot.
His defense will be there. I give him that, but on the offensive end, he is not gonna be like that on those teams. But
he's in it. But
the only team now, I do see him over there in the Suns for the fact of KD and Booker. I do see that.
This goes to the point I still think he would still be a good player on any team because he still has that great defense he's going to bring with him.
But here's my thing. We're talking about playmaking. And if you look at Steph, you could put him on any team and you're going to get what Steph is going to give you.
Yeah, if I can elaborate real quick too. You guys mentioned initiating offense, right? If I'm the point guard, right, I come down, I see a man-to-man, and I call motion, right, because the defense is running man-to-man. Am I really like the playmaker because I simply came down and coach said, hey, when we see man-to-man, we run motion? Am I really the playmaker because I do that? I make the first pass and I go pick away? I don't think that makes me a playmaker, right? And I think you guys are giving Draymond a lot of credit for kind of just basic things like that.
Yeah,
Brandon, I gotta go. I just want to step up for a quick second.
Okay, guys. I got to get off too. I know we've been off for like 3 hours, so it's been a good show.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Come back next week if you can. Real debates. Thanks for showing up.
Salute, Sports. Can't wait to come back and chop it up with y'all. Salute.
All right, yeah, you guys coming on Twin, man. Twin man is always on. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next week. All right.